Hey, YouTubers and friends, how you all doing? Absolutely awesome, I hope. Tonight, Toledo Jazz Dano and I have a totally awesome guest. Many of you miners over at Facebook would know him. Casey Morgan also has appeared on Gold Rush, Whitewater, and now Dave Turin's Lost Mines. So, you know what I'm gonna say next. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night Hangout Live. With your hosts, Ed Marvin, Toledo Jess, and Dano.
All right, we're back. Dano, unmute, my friend. Unmute. And where'd Casey Morgan go?
Don't make me do it.
There he is. So, quick little announcement. I had a message today from our friend Jack Tucker at Gold Fever Adventures and Resort. And how do you pronounce that? Arizona. I'm sure Casey will correct us.
You.
Salome, Arizona.
Can you hear
There
me now?
he is. Yep, we got you, Casey. And he has a $25 pay dirt bag that he sponsored for some lucky listener tonight. And no, we're not going to do it right away. So tell me, how was Mr. Tim for Gold's birthday, Dano?
Had a good time on the creek, but we stayed in the creek because it was so hot.
Oh, I bet.
You get out of the creek, it was hot no matter what. You stayed in the water.
I went to our company picnic, and Casey's gonna laugh at this, but it was a bombing, like 80%, 90% humidity, and 104 heat index.
I'd laugh at it. I know how hot that is. That's hotter now. It's still just as horrible here, but that's pretty horrible. I don't know if I like humidity worse.
I like I told you before, I lived in AZ along the Colorado River in the Bullhead Riviera area, but I'll take that dry heat over that humid stuff any day.
Yeah, it was bad this weekend. It was hot and humid bad.
Yeah, it was. I was supposed to have gone with Dano, but I was just way too hot, and my knee was giving me such a bad time. So I decided to stay home in the air conditioning and rest my knee up.
Judy did exactly what you did, Dano. I mean, Jesse. She's like, "Are you ready to go?" I'm like, "Whenever you are." And she walks outside, turns around, walks back in, and says, "You can go. It's too damn hot for me."
Well, it took me most of the day to load my Jeep up to get ready to come. Seriously, it was just, dude, I'm going to be 69 years old next month, so I'm pulling the age card, if you don't mind. I get out there in that heat, I'd last 10, 15 minutes, and I got to come back in the house, sit for a little bit and go back out, try to load some more stuff. And by the time 1 o'clock hit, I texted Dano. I said, "Dano, I ain't gonna be able to make it."
You're on your own, my friend. I told him, no problem. I understand. But
I would have loved to gone down there and be down at the Wilson
that would have been
property.
my first trip there.
It's a nice property, and there's some bedrock and some good chunky stuffs come off of it.
We'll get you and Ed both to go.
And his birthday boy.
Oh yeah, that's right. While he's here,
he panned out that heavies you gave him, that little bag of black sand.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, he sent me a picture of it. Like he
Chris
does.
Wants to know if you're ready to go down to his place.
I want to go to King Prospector's spot. Yes, all three of us. And I want to get to Jason's again, Dano. But I believe Patrick Moore's 40 today. He's the behind the scenes guy here at Flash in Your Pan. Everybody in the room, give our good friend Patrick Moore a good birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
We'll give you the pleasure of not singing to you, Patrick.
That's right. Wait a second.
Happy birthday, dirtbag.
Dennis Dayton. We have a song request for happy birthday from Patrick Moore to you. Ha! I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Patrick.
Yes.
I see Jack, our friend Jack Tucker's in the house. Thank you for the donation for
Hey,
the
Jack.
$25 pay dirt. Well, and behold, I have a very good friend of mine who's a radio personality in Southern California and beyond at one time. My friend Vic St. John, I've known this guy since I was in my 20s. Thank you for showing up, Vic.
I was going to ask you, there's a new name there I haven't seen before.
I'd appreciate your feedback being the professional DJ you are, even though this is the world of video.
Non-professionals.
Amateurs, totally amateurs. But everybody, welcome my good friend Vic St. John to the Flash Fam. It'd be greatly appreciated from me. Thank you for joining us. And all of our regulars and newbies.
Yes.
Another new name there, Bob Denault.
Hey, welcome, Bob Denault.
He's
Welcome.
from Massachusetts.
That's right, Vic. It's all fun, and we have a good time at it, right? Or we wouldn't
try.
be doing it. I put in a lot of work for all this fun, let me tell you. Well, why don't we get right to the chase? We're gonna be giving away the pay dirt from Gold Fever Adventures and Resorts, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jack or Casey in Solome, Arizona.
Casey has his mic on, or his mic muted.
Yeah, I think he has to unmute it. Oh no, I could
There you
do
go.
it that time.
Yeah, it's Salome. I never knew where that place was.
Well, Jack was gracious enough to donate after he bought the Gold Grabber 2, Gold Grabber division of Dredge Builders by Alan Trees. I knew it. I had his 4-inch when he was American Dredge Builders. But Jack Tucker owned it for a minute and got rid of it, and now he owns a resort in Arizona. Check out his Facebook page. I believe I have the link right here. I'll find out in about 2 seconds. No, that's my Zoom link. But don't go there now. Wait till after the show. I'll also put it in the description for y'all. Yeah, he'll be open up for business here in the next mining season in Arizona, because you don't want to be there right now mining, do you, Casey?
It's just a little heat. You'll be all right.
Just a little heat. I know Jack goes out in the morning and the evening.
We're just starting monsoon so late this year. It's been a weird summer. Hasn't been that hot.
Oh, okay. The storms are starting to come up the Sea of Cortez up to Colorado, huh?
It's coming now. We just started rains and thunderstorms last night. That's really late in the year for us.
So anyone out in the desert now, be careful of flash floods. They're a killer.
Yep.
Oh, we just started raining here. Holy cow. Just as you said that, it started raining. Casey, yeah. Do you know I lost the name. Scroll down by. Hang on. Where'd it go? You can't see the chat, can you? Renee?
I see you guys. I see a picture of Flash in your pan.
Okay, but I mean on YouTube, you're not on YouTube, right?
No, he's on his phone.
Okay, so Renee, you're RT Junior. Say what's up, Casey. Greetings from Salt River, Arizona.
Yeah, that's Renee. I talked to him. He's a pretty nice guy. He's got
cool. Hi, Renee.
He lives within about think 30 minutes of me, or 120 minutes of me. He's a part of the Indian River tribe out there, and they got lots of land. But he's a really cool guy.
Cool. Welcome.
Oh,
I see Adams is here now. So, what are you doing right now? I mean, besides just
Talking to you.
trying to stay cool.
no, I do general construction during the week.
Oh, yeah?
I run heavy equipment during the weekdays, and just for family. It's a family company, and remodel homes. A lot of hot physical labor, electrical, plumbing. Right, we've got actually a couple interesting projects we're doing. We're doing taking shipping containers and converting them into apartments. That's a new one for me.
Yeah, that's a new fad. Or I don't want to say fad because actually they're kind of cool.
They're really over engineered though, because I think a lot of the architects are a little nervous with them, and they over engineering their pads and their tremendous amount of concrete and rebar that go into these and all the tie-ins they want. It's
ridiculous.
New way to build. They make it almost so it's not financially feasible to build them before you can make a profit off them. But that's not the name of the game. We're a nonprofit, so
Yeah.
we try different things, and this is one of the new areas we're kind of going down.
Very cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. The three of us. I've been in construction and factory work all my life. You know, we were talking earlier about as you get older, things don't work as well anymore. And
Yeah.
you know, I go out with these guys, and my biggest worry is falling. You know, falling.
Just getting up on top of those containers. When I rigged them up 2 months ago, we're doing 2-story ones. It was probably that metal on there with the Arizona sun. It can get up to 160 to 180 degrees on your feet.
Right.
And you're sitting there just trying to look at this crane, and something goes wrong, and you take an injury, you're going to be out for a while. It's just like when I got injured in Alaska up there. I was out for 2-3 months, and then I met up with Dave, and we did the whole thing here in Arizona at Prescott Valley at Lynx Creek.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that when you were when you called in when Chris was on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Chris and Nathan might call in. I'm hoping.
Oh, that would be cool.
Did you pass them on the link?
Yeah, I know. We've all been pretty busy lately. I talk to them almost every other day or daily. I mean, those guys this whole group's pretty close.
Right, that's what you were saying before. I mean, it was I follow you on Facebook, and I follow Chris on Facebook and stuff. And when you guys were doing the show, or after the show came out, you were posting the pictures and stuff. It looked like you guys were having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, it looked like you guys having a ball, which is, hey, that's all part of it too. You can't just, I mean, yeah, you're going out working for money without doubt, but you know, I always worked with the idea that if I'm not having fun at work, I should be doing something else. You know,
that's pretty much it. I always made a pact to myself: if I really don't like what I'm doing, I'm gonna stop doing it, because it just starts beating you up mentally, and it's not worth it. And I've always liked being a miner.
right?
My wife supports me in doing that, and she's been one. And it's been a little harder since we have Wyatt, our 4-year-old, but you know, because he's got school and things. But we used to be able to just rip out of the house and go mining. But
Right.
I don't know. It's I like this trade. I like mining. It's one of these. I don't know what this gold thing is. It's really a challenge. It's a different. It's the weirdest, most challenging thing I've ever done, because right when you think you got it all figured out, that's right about the time the ground falls out from underneath your feet.
Start over again. Well, I think it's a lot of it is like what we've been told, and some of the things that we feel ourselves is it's about the hunt. You know.
Oh man, see that's the thing people ask me.
I mean, we want the gold without a doubt. But
there's a big difference from what we do and what Casey does.
Well, no,
sure, but it's
you guys. You know what? It's the same feeling. Like when Dave turned I met up with him, or even before I met Dave, or what. But I was about the hunt. It's like when Dave told me, "You got to go find us more gold." As soon as I hear it's time to go find more gold, I'm like, because I'm really determined as a prospector at that point. I like the hunt. And I like that challenge. Once I'm mining, yeah, well that's awesome, but there's something about discovering it the first time again. Even if I'm in a canyon where I know the gold's all there, it's still a challenge to me to make sure I'm getting the highest possible quantity amount of gold out of that spot.
For the work you're doing, right?
How good you are as a panner and a prospector. And I've been
Absolutely.
pretty good with it. I mean, there's been days when I thought I had it all figured out. Then all of a sudden you're doing something wrong with the plant and you're losing it. That can happen.
But you know, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Those days that you're mining, when you're done with the prospecting and you're mining, that's when you got to make the fun. You know, that's when you got to make it fun. Otherwise it'll kill you.
You have to have fun with the guys you're working with.
Right.
There's a lot going on when you're. My biggest concern is like when I'm either driving an excavator or the haul truck. I've run loaders and scrapers, and this is the first time I ever ran an articulating haul truck, a Volvo brand. I remember years ago I tried a cat articulating, but I didn't do it for very long. But this is the first time I ran a Volvo articulating haul truck, and that was a new experience. I've run scrapers before, 623s, 657. The difference was I never had to go in a verse up a creek, a winding creek. This wasn't a perfect loop track, which would have been really nice if it was, where I just would do a loop, stop, the guy would load me, I'd take off again. We didn't have that luxury. I had to actually back all the way up to the excavator every time, and that was.
Well, yeah, because he was up in that creek, wasn't he?
When we got up in there, you may have seen towards the end of the 4th episode, like me backing way up there, and Dave Turin had that little white dump truck to help me. Yeah, that was quite a ways in reverse. I remember that too because it was pretty rough too. Because I remember seeing Dave's truck bouncing all over the place trying to get in there. I think that thing was meant to carry like some, AB aggregate for someone doing their driveway or something. Really meant to be up in the cut like that, but we did. It helped. I mean, every little bit helped, but it was pretty exciting. I knew the gold was good when we tested that because that day, we got up to 60 ounces in just like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Right.
I think once we got our box right, I knew the gold was good in Lynx Creek. I knew they'd missed it. And I remember that day when we were doing some testing. He said, "Hey, what's in this pile here?" And I tested. Oh, this looks pretty darn good. That's better than I saw down there when Dave and I originally were digging. And we went down there, and man, we ran till I had to be 2 or 3 in the morning, something like that. Sure as shit. It sure as shit, man. That
was your late night adventure. Yes, I remember that.
Now, Casey, isn't the history of Lynx Creek that during the Civil War is that the place where Abraham Lincoln had troops there mining for the war effort?
So what really got me to be like that was when I first got into mining gold, I kind of went, most people run out to wherever they hear there's gold. Me, I went after the history. And being that I moved as a kid from California to Prescott as an 80s kid, grew up there, I never knew there was gold there. There was gold right next to my junior high school in the downtown area of Prescott, Arizona. I didn't know that. And I mean, there was a lot of it. It's flood gold now mainly, and it's really compacted. But the whole Abraham Lincoln story, well, what happened was he was looking for ways to fund the Civil War. And, how did you pay people back then? Well, look at your currency. Look what was going on. Gold was becoming the more medium way to pay because you have a war going on. What's the promissory?
Yeah.
Right.
Paper money doesn't mean anything during war.
No, gold and silver.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, this is 10 years after the gold rush had already started in California.
Right.
You're pushing that envelope right there where most of the corporations, or what corporations they had at the time, rushed out there and tried to start seizing up ground. Prescott didn't even become a town until 1864. But right before then, Lincoln was like, he sent the Union Army into Prescott. They set up Fort Whipple, and they protected these miners from all the Apache Indian raids. And that's what they called every. There wasn't a differentiation of Hopi or Navajo or different Indian tribes.
They were all Indians.
They just called them Apache, and they were fighting for the gold. But then those tribes were all fighting with each other at the same time. There was a lot of chaos. I mean, they were fighting over ground, and it was like a multi-way battle going on there. But he wanted to get the gold, and they saw Prescott as the new gold fields of the North. When I first read that, it said of the North. I was thinking, wait, Arizona's not North. What he's referring to is the Union Army of the North.
Right.
So that's they use. There's some old gates where the Union Army came in at Fort Whipple. It's next to the actually Yavapai Indian Reservation, and they have these gates, and it has all these dedications on their plaques, and they had to be over 120 years old. That was the Union Army, man. They had to get in there. You got to remember, Prescott reported, and those big dredges came up that creek. When they showed that dredge that Dave and the guy from the plant from down the road who came and talked to him, Chris, this guy, different Chris, came and showed Dave the dredge there, the
right, where all those tailings were.
That dredge, give you an idea, you would never think that was a dredge sitting there, because the main channel of the creek is literally 200-300 yards away. It's like the dredge wasn't even in the creek. You're imagining, my mind always says main channel, that's where the dredge is going to be. This thing was like Noah's Ark sitting up on the mountain. And I'm going, how in the hell were they doing this? They hadn't worked that part of it yet. And then it kind of comes into your mind, Jesus, they had to take 50 feet of material off the top of this damn river because of how much they'd worked. And then a lot of that got hydraulic in 1890 before they really started bringing the big dredges in. So they really tried to work the crap out of it. And then they ran out of money by the 1940s, and then gold became obsolete, or not obsolete. They had in that 33
non-essential metal.
Right.
For the war.
World War II, and that's why the people who were mining gold were just basically off the war and didn't return, get killed or whatever. But 1933, they had was it turn in your gold? It was illegal to own it, something like that. I can't remember that. But
was that in the 30s?
I think it was 33. They had that. We had to turn your gold for
it was illegal to own gold anymore. You had to turn all your gold coins, not gold itself, but gold coins and stuff like that, I believe. I think you can still have jewelry and stuff like that, but
but all the gold mines,
currency, no.
But the cool part was about that area was that the Union troops were trying to keep these miners alive because they really did need that gold to keep funding that war.
Right.
Got a nation that's in a massive civil war like that, you can't afford not to be paying troops.
Well, and not only that, you had to keep it away. You had to keep it away from the rebels too, because they were doing the same thing. They were out, looking for the gold. And
this is the funny part, is that the Confederacy, they were down by Tucson. They held up. Yeah, people don't know this. The Union Army up here in Prescott, different scout and different little units, but units were marching around the hills with prospectors or whatever. But they also had I don't know how big this little battalion or unit or what it was, but they went down there and they got in a big old scuffle, and they all shot it up with the Confederacy. They had a civil war here in Arizona with the Blues and the Grays. I mean, they did that here. People don't really know that, but they were fighting over control of the West because there was a tremendous amount of gold.
Yeah, the Civil War didn't just happen in, Alabama and Kentucky and
Eastern state.
It happened throughout the country in little hot spots like you're talking about. Here you got the Northern Army protecting miners, and then you got the rebels trying to steal and get what they can, raid places or whatever they were doing to try to get their gold. I'm not gonna
They
say they were
were.
all thieving, but you know,
And
so
I don't think they realized how precious Nevada was at the time, because Nevada requires, there's a lot of big gold in Nevada, but I think you got to have a lot of the big mines. They got to ball mill the whole thing, and I don't know their process of getting out. The load mines up there, they produce a tremendous amount of gold. I think the number one spot now in America.
right, Nevada's
Yeah.
produces more gold, produces the most gold in America, and
Right.
it's all real fine gold that's in the sands, and they've been um,
It's all. I want to say it's all load mine, isn't it?
no, it's a pit mine.
Yeah, it's a pit mine.
It's a pit mine, and they grind that all down, and I don't know if it's a combination of chemical and smelting, but
Well, I believe a lot of it they use for leaching.
leaching, right?
Chris Ralph from California Mining Journal has a pretty good video about a lot of that, or some videos about that.
Well, give you an idea how many ounces that here in Arizona, well, at least in the Bradshaws, 300,000 ounces was reported here in the northern part of Arizona. That's what was reported. Just placer gold. What they didn't tell you was 3.5 million ounces came out in load, and that's where the real money was here in Arizona. That's where you get, that's why you have stories like the Lost Dutchman. That's why you have stories like you've got there's just the Vulture mine. You've got all these big mines around here that were big gold producers. Congress was a big producer of gold back in the day. They still got the LDMA camps over there by Stanton. There's just tremendous those mountains. And, people also don't know that Kingman, Arizona, has a tremendous amount of gold too. I've seen some of the nuggets coming out of there. Quartz.
Well, a lot of those stories go back even further, back to pre-Columbian times with the natives mining for gold.
The Spanish and
the Spanish coming over.
Well, you have Oatman, Arizona, right there in the Black Mountains, there off the Colorado River, not far from Kingman. That's still producing quite a bit to this day, isn't it?
Yes, there's still a lot of gold being produced. I mean, I've always wanted to mine over by the Colorado River. I've just never got a chance to get over there and do it, or even take a look around. I've gotten so familiar with the Bradshaws over the last 10, 12 years that that's where I hunt. And those mountains are pretty big, and I don't think they got it all, or not even close. I mean, it's just everybody goes to what people have claims, or they're in a club and they go to those places. But I believe there's just tremendous amount of gold that's been missed in the Bradshaws. They've gotten a lot of it, but not all of it.
And like for us who are out here on the East Coast, right? It's hard for us just to pack our stuff up, drive out there, and go, "Hey, can I prospect on your property?" That's not going to happen,
And that's how I feel about California. I want to go out there to the American River and I want to dredge. I want to get in there and do it, because I know that's got still tremendous gold in it, and I never, I don't know where the hell to go, and I know their laws are so strict on dredging, I don't even bother with it.
Yeah, well, you can't.
Well,
that's pretty strict.
I've heard guys do sniping and do all right with it. I've heard some interesting stories. I mean, ever since I've my Alaska adventure and my adventure with Mr. Turin there, it's been a lot of people coming out of the woodwork telling me stories, and I've got to be honest, some of them are pretty intriguing. And guys,
check out our buddy Brian, his videos that he does in Maine.
Oh yeah, Brian finds some American gold dredger, Brian Wilder. Yes, Brian Wilder. He's a great guy, Casey.
I'd like to go mining with that guy. Go recreationally dredging with someone like that.
He'd be the guy.
He's
in the East Coast, anyways.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good time to go check out I've never gotten to do the East Coast, and honestly, how would I go do that? I mean, just like you guys are saying, like a march out to Arizona and start mining.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Casey. You go hang out with Brian for a week or something, and then we'll come hang out with you in Arizona for a week. How's that?
I'd love to.
Oh yeah,
I don't have any ground leased right now, but you never know.
yeah. Out in California, I met a guy, Sniper Adam, out there. He does sniping in the rivers out in California, and the American and the Yuba.
Brian goes, "Hey, I heard my name." Yes,
he
you
does.
did,
He
Brian.
does good too. He showed us some pretty big gold that he got.
We invited Casey to go hang out with you for a week.
Okay.
He says, I heard my name.
For some reason I heard that he was going to go up to Alaska and go dredging this summer, but I guess he didn't go. I don't know what happened there.
I'm not sure about
Brian
that.
told me.
I know he's heading towards your way this coming season, though.
Oh, he's coming out to Arizona?
Yeah, I believe so. What?
You know, there's so many rivers here that just don't have water in them, and they just had some darn stinking water. There's
Right.
people's pockets. I'll tell you, I've gone into places that are just dry, and I've hauled water in and did testing in there, and I just couldn't believe the amount of color I found in just running a few shovel scopes through a gold cube and went, "Are you serious?" I mean, it was just that. But there's no darn, there's nowhere you'd have to drill a well. What's that going to cost, right? So
Right. Or haul water in.
I've done that many a times. I've loaded up the truck on a Friday night and gone out there and dug around until I found what I wanted. But I get pretty obsessed with testing, and that's why eventually I like to pick a spot and just start mining, because I can bounce all over the place.
What's your favorite means of mining out where you mine? Dry washing?
My favorite type of mining?
Where you're at, not like dredging in Cali or AK or something.
I like to. My favorite type of mining is just your basic commercial surface mining, like I'm doing right now with Dave Turin. That's what I like doing.
Okay.
Dredging. I mean, here in Arizona, you don't even have to wear a mask half the time because you only get 4 or 5 feet to bedrock. You just sit there and stand on the nozzle, and it'll just suck it right up.
Oh, so you can do a lot of lawn arming there.
You just sit there. I've done that so many times. I think there's even a video of it of me doing that like 6-7 years ago, next to bedrock, just shoving the hose down there, and I just hit the end of the bedrock and clean it out the best of my ability and find some gold in there. It's pretty good.
Right.
I mean, if I don't have to get a mask on, and I didn't ever even had an air system on that little dredge I had before, and I could get around Arizona and did just fine with it. You know, I've seen spots I haven't worked in 100 years, and you go in there and just the flood gold at 6 to 12 inches into the false bedrock, and you can get plenty of color. I mean, you really worked it. You get yourself about an ounce in a few days. You really worked hard at it. You're not moving the kind of volume you would with an excavator, but you're still having fun.
All right.
Right. Now,
we're happy with a gram a day. We're ecstatic with a gram a day here in Ohio.
Hey,
Spike. What's up?
I have a friend who dredges in Nome. I know him from back home in Washington State. And he started off, just prospecting the Cascades like all of us, panning and sluicing and dredging, and escalated to full-blown actual, on a larger scale, mining. He went from dredging the Bering Sea on a 10-inch, I believe. Then he went to a crawler. Then he brought his trawler inland and turned it into his wash plant. And I know he's doing well. Out of courtesy and his wishes, I'd rather not drop names or any particular location. I'll say Nome. But I asked him once, how has the mining you do now affected your outlook on the days where you were small scale and more of a prospector?
I couldn't hear that last part.
How has large scale mining affected your other side, your roots, your beginning? how do you look at just like, I know you love the hunt like you've talked about before, but the smaller skies, the smaller side of the spectrum of our lifestyle.
You know what? The smaller side is still just as exciting. I mean, you got to remember, there's days you'll be sitting in a haul truck for hours, and not a lot goes on. You're just moving dirt from one spot to another, so it's not very exciting. And I don't get out to go look at the box. Can't see anything anyways. There's so much water going down it.
Yeah, I can imagine doing that on a large scale like you were doing is like just being another robot in a factory, you know?
It kind of is, but I mean, you're still under. It's a different type of excitement because your mind's going, "That's a lot
Well,
of dirt
right,
there."
because
You're like,
you're working for the gold, you know.
yeah,
In a
we
factory, you're
really,
working for the man. And
we really
so,
were. Well, I work for Dave Turin, and he's my boss, and I'm trying to keep that box full of gold. And I'm having to jump out and test the ground as we're going. I mean, we had a tub set up with a pickup truck aside, and we'd have to test every 3 or 4 runs because you want to make sure it's not going dry. And if not, we're going to
right.
pack up and go to the next tributary. That's how fast we had to move. There was a stress level that just trying to keep all that going was pretty elevated. But when you're doing small scale, I have a lot of fun. That it's a little more relaxing to me, and you get to
Well,
go
you
out
don't
and
have, yeah,
see
right.
it.
Well, of course, because you don't have that pressure of, everything is costing you a ton of money. So you got to be working. When you're small scaling, it's more relaxing.
Even when I had the mind of myself way before I ever worked with Dave Turn, and they had all the camera crews and people show up. I filmed with Gold Trails. They did a TV show down, or just had me in there for an excerpt. And they came down there, and I just had a little small plant, backhoe, and equipment. That's all we had. And even that was stressful because the amount of cost involved in that. So,
Right. So sometimes I guess just grabbing a stream sluice
what's that?
grabbing a stream sluice and going down the creek can be really relaxing for you.
You know what I do? I do a gold cube with a with a with a concrete tub full of water.
Hmm.
Throw it in there, and I have the trommel and the gold banker attachment, and I'll run it that way and just shovel it right out of the creek.
There you
And
go.
you just, if you have the gold banker attachment, you just lift it up and see, and you can see if there's any nuggety material or any type of you get some good color going. And if you start finding that it's going good, I'll put the trommel attachment on there and use a car battery and start loading it right there. If I'm really wanting to play in the creek, that's what I'll do. But that's fun to me.
Yeah,
It gets the wife and me out in the house.
that's relaxing.
What's that?
I said that's relaxing.
That's what that's the whole thing. I mean, I like that. I got to do this really cool opportunity, and Raw TV and Discovery's been awesome. But I'm still small scale miner at heart. I'm still with you guys in this whole thing.
Right.
It's like, okay, cool. I got to do all that. Now, hopefully, when I get some free time, I can take the family. We can go somewhere like Nome. We can dive up there, or just go. There's a couple groups up there that have if you pay for I don't know what it is, like some summertime thing for a week, you go up there and they let you just go out there and metal detect and run a dredge, and they have it all there, and you just have a good time with your family and just pick up some gold, and there's no stress involved.
Right.
That's kind of what we're hoping, when we
Right.
start. Well, we're going to do this a little bigger. I didn't expect it. I didn't call Discovery; they called me, so I was like, okay, cool.
Right.
I mean, I felt pretty privileged. I mean, I've never been on major network thing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Everyone likes that.
So I imagine that. So how did they approach you about that? I don't think we talked about that last time.
Well, a lot of people don't know that I had started out with, I was a gold cube. I believe so much in that gold cube because it really, in a weird way, made my wife's marriage better, because I was spending so much time trying to clean up cons and everything. And I was like, she's like, you didn't even come in the house. And I got that gold cube, and I became a for it. And next thing you know, I got really wrapped up in testing ground all over Arizona for years. And I got to know Fred Hurt in around 2012 or 13. And that's when I kind of got to know Fred Hurt. And we became friends. And then he left Gold Rush and he'd come down to Arizona and talk to me a little bit. And we just remained friends for a long time. And then I went up to, and he talked to, hey, I want you to come up here and do this. He called me out of the blue. I was basically moved out of Prescott and stopped mining because my wife's dad was having health issues. So I moved down here to the valley, back here to the Phoenix area, and moved out of Prescott, which I didn't really want to do because I like being up in the pines. But I got down here and he called up and I said, do we really want to go do this? So I went up there for the entire summer. Well, lo and behold, I wound up getting overdoing it and wound up in surgery after about 4 months up there. That was a lot of fun. I had like a double hernia going, and doc said, no way, you can't do this. No more lifting, nothing. And so I had that, and then that's when Dave called. But the whole thing really started with Fred Hurt. He gave me that chance to go on.
I've been trying to get Fred on this show for a while now. I keep commenting, you should come on, Fred. But he never responds.
He's a character, but I'm sure
he's busy. I know.
I'm sure he's got 1 million people that are trying to get him to go on shows.
Oh, I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
He called me.
Oh, I'm sure he has. I know. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of people wanting to meet up with him and wanting to come on their shows and stuff.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, there's it seems like as soon as you do one of these you get on these things and you have all these camera crews around you, show comes out, you your whole world kind of changes a little bit.
Oh, I bet.
Everyone wants to sell you something or have you endorse their products, and there's contracts we sign, so we only can do so much. We
understand that.
And a lot of have great ideas. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I love being around the mining community. I go to the gold shows. They don't pay me. I just go in there and talk to people because they're excited about doing this shit.
Right.
And that's what gets me pumped up. Is you go into gold show, people are excited, man. They're like,
oh yeah.
There's 2 times people get excited, really excited about mining gold, and it's always right before a gold show. Or right after Friday night Gold Rush comes on the Saturday morning, they get pumped up with their phone mining.
Right. That's funny.
I would still think about it all week, but as soon as it got close to that Friday, here we go, right?
Hey, well, the 3 of us, if you notice our picture on our page up here, not the Zoom one, but for the YouTube.
Yeah.
If you notice that picture, we're official. Instructions. That's right.
Well, we usually work the gold panning booths at the gold shows.
That's where you'll find us.
So we have a couple of years we got our Felix Pay Dirt official gold panning instructors, So
hey, I'm proud of my shirt, damn it.
We got shirts that prove it, dang it.
That's right.
No, we love sharing it.
Show at?
Well, the last year it was in Dayton. The year before it was in Indianapolis.
Called the East Coast GPAA, or what is it called?
It's a GPAA Golden Treasure Show.
Yeah, it's the same.
I don't see it on the schedule.
Not this year.
Not this year.
We're gonna skip this year, then we'll be next year.
It'll be Ohio or Indiana.
But I believe they're switching us up. Instead of us being in the fall like it has been in October, who in the East Coast, at least Northeast, wants to be buying a dredge when it's going to be 30 degrees or minus 40 in just a little while,
Well, I mean, I get that, but I guess if you're sitting there all cooped up in the house and the gold show comes to town and you got a heavy snowstorm going and you get a clear day, you probably go and check it out.
Oh yeah,
it's still your thing, but
Yeah, it'd be fun, but you're not going to sell any dredge.
We got good turnaround. We had a good showing. Just it kind of hurt the vendors, kind of. But from what I understand, Brandon and Kevin Hoagland and stuff have been getting together with the state director Thomas Folks of Indiana and the state director of Ohio, Sonny, about having our show when it comes in 2 years or the next time during the spring. So I think that
That's
would be
cool.
I think that would be more beneficial for the product manufacturers on this side who comes to the shows and stores and stuff that come to the shows. I think it'd be more profitable for them, which we want it to be, so our shows can even become bigger and better. I'd like to make it to the Las Wages show, though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Vegas.
Yeah, go to the Vegas show.
They didn't do Vegas this year, I don't think.
Yeah, right. They didn't do one this year.
Right.
I've been to the one with Mike Pung. Me and Mike Pung, I did that show with my wife. Last time I did the Vegas show was 4 years ago. Yeah, my wife was pregnant. That's when we found out we were having Junior.
That's when you found out, or that's when it happened?
That's when we found out. She's like, man, I'm really tired. I'm like, huh, that's weird. I got to go sell these gold cubes. So we found out later Wyatt Earp Morgan was born 9 months later.
Right on.
Cool.
Yeah, and then it's more like Wild Bill's really. Kids jackhammering the room apart every day.
Casey, we have a question.
There's going to be a show in 2020
gal in our chat room. She wants to know if you got any gold porn to show.
Oh, it's all over the page on my Gold Rush Casey page.
No, they like to see gold porn in people's hands, nuggets and stuff.
Let me go see what I got.
Put your nuggets in your hand and show them.
Yeah.
You guys want to see some gold?
Oh, they always want to see gold.
I'm on a live video from chat.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, it's my wife, V. She's all, I could be taking a shower. What's going on? I'm going to be doing something.
Clickbait. Clickbait.
Hold on a second. Let me dig her. What's that? My wife and I, if you guys really knew how we get into it, it's kind of funny. You should have seen us yelling at each other when we were dredging in this small creek. We didn't have enough water to be running this dredge. Like the foot valve wasn't working.
Does she dredge also?
This other miner was with us, and he was just like shaking his head, watching us go at each other. We're definitely that couple that keeps it lively.
Yeah. Does she mine along right there with you?
Oh, my wife, yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, she's got pictures of her on there way back in the day. It'd be really hard. It's hard to be married to someone that they don't like this kind of stuff. You'd be like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
No, Ruby does you right, Jesse.
You got his hiding spot, right, guys?
Oh.
You figured out where it's at? It's in the closet? No.
There's in a secret stash space. There's some in here. Not a lot. Let's go take a look outside and see how it looks.
All right. Are you ready out there for some gold porn?
Some shiny.
Ooh, shiny.
Let's take a little look-see.
Precious.
They drop it like.
Oops.
No.
Honey, get the vacuum. I'm surprised that actually. Ooh, nice.
There's a big old vial of it. Here's another. Oh, there's some chunkies on this one. Yep.
Very cool.
Here's a smaller one. Got a bunch of vials of this, but I don't see where I keep them all. Pretty good stuff.
Nice.
That looks pretty dirty. You should send it to me so I can clean it for you.
Yeah. You know, I don't look at this stuff enough, but this is pretty cool to look at.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I sold a lot of it, but I keep a lot of it too, just because it's like you work so damn hard to get it, and I don't want to just give it away for a few bucks and go, well, there you go. Looks like we are about to get some monsoons out here. You guys want to see?
Sure. Oh yeah.
It's starting to darken up. But yeah, I love this stuff. God, that's great. Is that better view?
Oh, yeah.
That looks good.
That looks good.
And that's from your No-Tellum Creek, right?
The chat room's going, ooh, ah, yum.
Actually, this right here is pushing about $7,300 worth of gold in my hands. Pretty good.
No.
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
And then there's that.
Sexy, Colleen says.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what you do this for. We're all like these little miners.
Right.
Hills. I know how these miners become hermits later in life. They just hide up in the hills.
Right.
You know. Hold on a second. So what do you guys? Is that the gold porn they were looking for?
Yeah, but you know how they are. Once they get a little.
More.
Hold on, I'm digging around looking for more. I got this shit everywhere. Hold on a second. Hold you on,
That sucks.
Oh, there's an earring here with gold. There's an earring here that's got gold in it. Then I've got some more up here. There's like some nuggets in this thing.
Oh
That's
yeah.
from a long time ago. I would keep the ones that you kind of have a memento with. You're like, all right, that one took me a while to get that rock out of there. That big boulder, and there that son of a bitch was. Am I allowed to cuss on here? I don't know if I am.
We try and keep it to a minimal, but it does slip out. Oh, it's okay. Beep. Delayed.
Yeah, we have a beep.
Delayed beep. Well, we do have some children, and we promote with Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, along with our Take a Vet prospecting project for vets. That's Jesse's baby.
We do try to get out with the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts and teach them about panning and mining.
I have
our club here has a program. Our club in the Buckeye chapter has a program for these the Scouts getting their badges for its society badge, where they learn different aspects of mining and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Tell my apologies. Sorry about that.
No worries. We are miners after all.
Well, that is what we are. There's no doubt about that.
Welcome back, Jim.
What's that?
Oh, our friend Jim that we got, we pushed our lifestyle on him, and now he no longer looks at a river or stream the same again. And we took him out prospecting. He met us at a Indiana chapter of the GPAA meeting, and he found some gold, and the camaraderie was great. Next thing he did was order a classifier. Then he went out with us again and did a little prospecting, and now no longer looks at a river or stream the same way again.
HD Shovelhead, the other Ed, said Jim is broken now.
Yeah, he is. It's a shame you can't see the chat room. We have a great community here at Flash in Your Pan.
I can't see or view that.
But
if you start mining gold and you start learning how to do it, the first thing you're doing is if you're driving out of town, you start looking at roadway cutouts. You start looking. You look at the ground completely different. It's kind of like when I used to ride a lot of motocross. You start driving along the highway and you go out in the mountains, you start looking at jumps and things you're going to hit. But man, the gold mining starts turning everything into a possibility.
Right. Everywhere you look, oh, there could be gold there.
There
We
could
look,
be.
could be.
Yeah.
Probably isn't, but there might be. Or there probably is.
There might be. As long as there is a might be, you're going to check it out.
Yeah, they had. I guess after we got done doing Lynx Creek, I guess they had an influx of about triple the amount of tourism up there.
Oh, and that happens all the time.
Oh yeah, I mean, people.
Well, look what happened in Nome. You know.
Oh, yeah. You imagine that how that fiasco went? I bet you everybody there. Well, they were showing them boys getting what $300,000 cleanups or some
Right.
crazy on the Palm
Yeah.
Range. I'm like, oh really? I'm like, yeah, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it was cool watching that, but the thing that upset me the most about that was they didn't show the rest of the story. In other words, we're not just going out there and tearing the place up and walking away. You know,
Oh, you mean the
they're not-
reclamation?
yeah, right. Not showing any reclamation.
They didn't show any of our reclamation either.
No, they don't. That's the part that upsets me about these shows more than the fact that they're full of drama. You know,
Well,
the fact,
we went
you know,
down the main channels in ours, and so when we backtrack it, all that's going to happen is a flash flood comes through, and then everything starts regrowing.
well, and I know that too. You know,
Right.
but there's some places that doesn't happen. You know, depending on the type of mining you're doing. But like, you know, yeah, flash floods. Mother Nature typically will take care of anything that we can do, anyways. It's not like we have any control over what she's gonna do.
Where I like the main channel, baby. That's where I like to be.
Yeah.
The main channel. If I can be in there, it's like whatever I did gets buried and gone.
Right.
And it's like, so what? It didn't affect nothing, and I got what I needed, and then Mother Nature gets what it needs, and there you go.
Actually, a little more than that because you actually took out some of the pollutants while you were doing that.
Yeah.
Pretty much, all the heavies are gone, all the
Right.
crap that's in there, the metal, everything else comes out
You got it.
Yeah.
clear. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, that's typically the kind of stuff that we push on that we push on the Boy Scouts.
Common sense.
Common sense, right?
It's pretty cool, Casey, because we'll start off with an empty tub next to some panning tubs with water in it. And
Sure.
some kid would usually say, "Why is this one empty?" And at that time, Jesse or I reaches behind us or under the table and pull out a 5-gallon bucket full of nothing but glass, metal, barbed wire, you name it.
You name it.
And we pour it in it. And they go, "Wow, where'd that all come from?" And we're like, "We've pulled this out of one spot in an afternoon. Actually, this is a tip of it." And they're like, "Oh my God." And so,
Oh yeah, it's you're taking care and cleaning up the environment. I agree.
Right. So we really push that. Plus the fun part of panning for gold and finding gold and that kind of stuff. But we
Right.
really do want them to understand that what we do as small scale miners and even as large miners, big corporation mining, they have to reclaim too. That all this gets done. It's just they don't show it. This is why we have to explain it to them. A lot of them don't understand that.
Let's see here. I'm texting with Chris Taylor and Nathan right now. Hold on one second.
okay. We might have a couple extra added guests with us tonight, everybody.
No, I don't know what they're doing. They're over there, and they're on the East Coast with you guys, so I don't know what they're up to. Nathan has been, he just moved from his house, and those guys are a hoot to work with. I mean, they got the Southern accent, so it's kind of like, man, they're fun to work with.
Nathan and Chris got off pretty well, huh?
What's that?
Nathan and Chris.
What they do? I couldn't hear you.
No, they got along pretty well.
Oh yeah, those guys had to work together every day, and they were at the plant. I was the only one getting really a sightseeing because I was going back and forth.
Right.
But I mean, everything becomes a little monotonous after a few months. You're like, yeah,
Something
your body
else.
feet in those machines, like your back starts to
Go.
take. You get through it, and the best part is at the end of the day, shut down that plant. Everyone run over there and see it's in the box.
Oh yeah, that's got. I'm surprised they didn't show any of that as much, as much any more than what they did. 'Cause I love seeing the gold in the box.
Who don't?
Oh, I don't know.
Hey, you guys have the link here for this? Because they're saying they're having a problem with the link.
Really?
Oh, let me see here. I might have the link. Wait a second. Yeah, as far as the box goes, that one time when we're working until 2 in the morning or whatever the hell it was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was solid gold all the way.
Yeah.
To the bottom. I was like,
Gotta go change the underwear.
Coming out of Alaska, where I wasn't seeing a lot of gold when I left there, to that. But all right.
Are you on Facebook?
It was really cool that you guys got, got some gold to take home with you.
Oh yeah, you guys remember though, all that happened. Really, that main amount of gold happened within about an 8-hour period.
Right.
I mean that last big push. And
right.
That was starting to get really hot on it. So, but then that's the end of our lease. We had a very short lease, very short time to do it within.
I sent you the link again on your Facebook, Casey.
Okay, hold on a second here. I'm gonna send them a link. Hold on. Let's see here. Nathan's gonna. Okay, here we go. I got Nathan now, and I'm back. Maybe he'll.
All right.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's what makes it all. And then people who like watching it, like you guys, that's like makes it worth it because you're sitting out there. You forget all about it. Hell, half the time we're watching the show on TV and you're like going, man, I don't remember doing all this. And you're just kind of watching it.
Oh, yeah. Even that happens to me. We'll go out and Ed's always filming, and when he throws a video up, I'll watch it. I'm going, wait a minute, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
What was that? Wait.
That's because he takes so long to edit.
That's what it is. That's right. I got to see.
I don't remember half of it. What I do, I don't like. If I was stressed or nervous, that's even when I forget more. Because I mean, you get into a push, and let's face it, Dave was like putting all that on me in the beginning.
Right.
Shit. Like,
well, hey, you said it was there. You said it was there.
It was.
Oh, it was. You're right. Absolutely, it was.
It was. I wasn't having a problem. My fear was that okay, we found it. Can we capture it though? Because was our water speed right? Was our box doing right? And in the beginning, the answer was no, because we should have had way big numbers in the beginning, but our box wasn't elevated. We just a simple thing we missed. I mean, the problem was we didn't have that cleanup shot built. So we're like turning off the plant at night and I'm all, woohoo, the box is full of gold, man. We're set, right? And then
so after now, in my mind, if I had been running like that and I realized that I've been blowing gold all out, did you guys rerun that material? Did you take those tailings and rerun them?
Good luck getting to them.
Well, I don't.
40-foot embankment to a mucky pond.
Oh well, okay.
If you run that through a hopper with a conveyor, it'd just be mud all over the dang thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how the only way you could do it is let it dry out.
Right.
And there's no telling how much we really missed because we were only going for 3-4 days without it.
Okay.
So really missed. I mean, it could be a tremendous amount, or maybe the whole season. I don't know. We started doing great towards the end because once we got our box elevated, everything right. They showed you on the show.
Right.
Right. These guys still don't understand what they have to do. They have to download the app. I don't think they understand it.
There should be Oh, they're probably on their phones, huh?
Oh,
Everybody is, yeah.
Yeah, so.
but
Well, I'm gonna tell him right now.
well, Chris has been on.
Okay. Yeah, Chris was on.
I'm getting only from Nathan right now. I haven't heard from Chris. Chris might be out to dinner with his family or something. He's on.
Oh,
He's
that's
on.
cool.
It's gonna be 2 hours ahead where he is, or 3 hours, not 2 hours.
If he's on the East Coast, he's in Georgia, right? Or the Carolinas, so he's on our time.
Right.
It's 10 after 9. So.
Oh, Top Cat. I see Top Cat's in the house.
Hey, Todd, how you doing, brother? I have a vacuum, a DeWalt vacuum, just like yours, and it comes in pretty handy for dry bedrock.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Well, in the last video I saw
Right.
Jerry's, he was using it.
Yeah, Adam's got one. I think Todd's got one.
I think Adams is bigger though, where
His is a
Top Cat's is a lot like mine.
Yeah.
the quarter cable too. I think Adams is.
Right.
See, I think I put that mine in here. Hold on a second.
By the way, Casey.
Okay.
Brian from American Gold Prospector said, "Yeah, heck yeah."
What do you say?
He said, "Heck yeah."
Heck yeah! Come on up, go mining with them.
I've never been on the East Coast like that. I've only been out there for when I was in the Army, and I was out there in Virginia, and it was hotter than living hell. And
oh, Maine's beautiful.
Carolina, and that humidity, it was horrible. But I have never gotten to do any of the dredging out there or anything. I just recreationally, it'd be probably pretty damn fun.
He dredges and he snipes.
Those who snipe, I've heard stories about them. They hit these areas that are no longer allowed to be dredged in, and those guys who snipe, man, they make some bucks. I've heard one guy had 18 ounces out of the American River recently, and I'm like, really? Now, I don't know if that's a full season of sniping or what that is, but from what I'm hearing, they're making
check out the guys out on the West Coast. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, gotta get there somehow. Get one of those.
All that nothing's being allowed to be dredged, so they're all out there just filling up with flood gold, and it's probably doing that. And then
they're not finding just blood gold. They're finding some nice pickers and nuggets. And,
that's what I'm saying. Though. I mean, I'm sure if
stuff that's down in cracks.
Oh, Jesse, California having both glacial and lode.
Right.
Their flood gold is totally different than ours.
That's
bro.
True. I should realize that because their whole way of mining for gold is different than what we do here, and it's different than what you do in Arizona.
Out here in Arizona, we people go out saying they're going to mine it, and they find out how hot it is, rattlesnakes, and they don't want to do it anymore. No, I shouldn't say it. The winter time comes and everybody comes running down here. Hell, good amount of people from Gold Rush are down here. Tony Beats lives down here in the winter.
Right.
Me, there's Melody. She was on Gold Rush for a while there. There's actually quite a few people from Gold Rush that are living out here. I can't remember. There's been a few. There's the two guys that were on Tony Beats' crew that lived, the Mike and Mike guys that helped him build the very first dredge. They lived down here. They actually got mines up by the Gladiator mine up near Crown King, where Tony met with Parker. That one episode where he drove up to, I don't know if you guys remember that. He met him up there, and then Tony denied him into the ground.
Right.
He met him inside of a restaurant that's got a full stamp mill inside of it.
Oh, cool.
Pretty bad. It's up a road that's like called the Impossible Railroad. That's what it was back in the day. But now it's just a road to get up there. The road's just rough as crap. But it's like mainly ATVs and weekenders that go up there. But at one time, they had 15,000 people living up there at the Crown King area.
Wow.
Tremendous amount of mining. Same with Jerome. I mean, this is a big mining state. We still are. We have huge mines operating all over the state.
Right.
They're asking for a number to call in now. This is Nathan and Chris.
Oh, okay. Well,
you guys got a number? Is there some way?
No, there's no number. Just the Zoom.
There's a number they can get. I'll get it.
There's a number they can call. Okay.
There's a number. I just gotta Get it. Which means I have to open up another window and stuff, but hey, no biggie. Where's that?
Let's see here.
So it sounds like Jack has been up there. He said it's a cool restaurant and a nice ATV ride.
Probably
Yeah,
New York
if you come-
would be the
yeah,
best
that's-
number.
You'd be amazed these people that just the fans that'll come out, like they'll hear about a show going on or something, and like if Gold Rush has been filming or Discovery's been somewhere, people will go up there and travel to it. When I was up there at Porcupine Creek, we're down there filming a lot of
I'll
helicopters.
send it to you again on
They'll show
Facebook,
up.
Casey.
I did that. Hold on, they're sending me something right now.
I just sent you something too.
Oh, here we go. All right.
For whichever one suits them, I have New York and San Jose.
Hold on a second here.
Sure thing. Pardon this, everybody, but we're working on 2 more guys from the crew, as you know, Chris and
Sorry,
Nathan.
guys.
No worries, man.
Hold on a second here.
They don't mind, do you, everybody? Do you, Flash fam? While we're waiting for this, why don't we give away that bag of pay dirt from... Oh, where is it from? Ha! It's from Gold Fever Adventures and Resort. Let me bring up...
No, Brian.
I'll have to
not
bring up
numbers.
Streambot nor Nightbot.
Just everybody has to say something.
Yeah, everybody has to say
I
something.
get into.
Okay, I'm gonna have
No, Dano, we can't play.
Hey, at least we got 2 at our outing. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
yeah. Oh. What
What
the
happened?
Doing something.
Well, we're giving that while we're waiting for them to.
join us.
Getting in there.
I'm gonna bring this over
Scratching his
here.
butt.
Hey, Dano, Whoopi wants to know if you need a puppy.
Yeah, I don't need no puppy. I got a little cockeyed little hound right now.
Okay, everybody, start yapping away. If you're not active in the chat, you're not gonna get in on this $25 bag of pay dirt all the way from Salem, Arizona.
Tom is slipping in there. There's
From
Tom.
Gold
I don't,
Fever
Whoopi.
Adventures and Resort. Check out their website.
Me, yap, yap, he says.
Yep.
I want in, other Ed says.
Well,
Oh,
we have 11 eligible, 12. Come on,
Come
there's.
on, we got 37 watching, so you know.
I want to see
Oh, look at
37
that.
names
When
up
it-
there.
He
What
wants
is
to-
that 37 watchers? What is that? What is that? Are they actually video too, or they know?
The bot itself.
Chris.
Yep, Chris is here. The bot
showed up.
goes
Chris.
into my room and picks the number, but
He's talking, but I don't hear him.
I probably haven't unmuted him yet.
Holy crap! You know, I don't see these guys that often. I just hear them on
he
the
should
phone.
be good to go now. Everybody's still talking, Ed. Everybody's still talking.
Yep, we have 17 eligible. Come on, people. There should be more than that. We have 37 viewing. Those who were in here earlier.
Don't talk back.
Pardon me. 18.
Everybody's trying to get in there so they can possibly
Yeah.
win a $25 bag of pay dirt.
Hey,
I
pay
am.
dirt's pay dirt.
Big
I'm-
deal, man.
Hey, pay dirt's pay dirt. Gold is gold.
We're the only people I know get dirt for Christmas and get excited.
Well, that ain't no lie.
Where'd Chris go?
No, he's still there.
He's still
turned his
here.
camera up. It looked like.
Oh, Bob says he can't hold it like he used to. You better get on with it.
All right. Well, we have 18 eligible. Get this done and taken care of. Hey, Kent Flackler's here.
I got
Yeah, he's been here. Kent's been in here from the beginning.
Huh. North Jersey detectors, excellent. 19 eligibles. We got Nathan in here too. We have Nathan in here too, and look at that. We have a ceiling fan. It's hot in Arizona.
Making piss himself.
Oh, you can hold it for just a little bit longer.
He's having a fit, man. He's crossing his legs.
And we get it to 20 eligible, and I'm gonna pull the trigger.
Pickers and puckers? What?
Pickers and puckers? Oh
Puckers,
my.
Puckers.
Yeah, oh my.
Fingers are cramping, Todd says. Get on with it.
All right, I'm gonna give it 20 more.
And Chris is
Killing him. Bob's doing the pee-pee dance.
Oh man.
He's always doing a pee-pee dance.
All right. Let's hear a countdown. Oh man.
I gotta get Nathan on this show. You got Nathan here, me and Chris.
Oh, looks like I'm gonna be mailing it to Argentina.
What?
La Grande Rola Detection de Metals. Oh, I know I butchered that, but thank you very much.
Too bad for a white boy.
Please email me at flashingyourpan. Oh, wait. Let me get it up here so you can see it. Remove that there. Bam. flashingyourpan@gmail.com, amigo. And I'll get that mailed out to you. I'll get the information over to Jack Tucker, and he'll get that shipped out to you. I can hear you. I don't know which one's talking.
I hear you, Chris.
I hear you, Chris.
I hear you.
Hey, Ed.
He needs to.
What's your brother talking about? What's up with Ronald? What's he need prayers for?
I don't know. Jaron will know more. Because I teased him because he said he was leaving, and I said, you're supposed to stay the whole show. And Jaron was like, dude, he has to go to the hospital. And I'm like, oh, I was kidding. So,
okay, well, if he's got to go to the hospital, we'll send out prayers for him.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody say a prayer for radio, our buddy Ronald. I'm sure he'd greatly appreciate it. No problemo, amigo. La gran rola detección de metales. Whatever, Jesse, you know. I'm a gringo.
Hey, better you trying to say it to me.
Yeah, you're a Mexican that only understands it and not speak it. It's the bummer.
Let's welcome our buddy Chris here. Hi,
yeah.
Chris.
Well, let me
Can you hear Chris?
Huh?
Chris, can you hear?
He's still shaking his head.
No, I can't hear him.
He's got no sound.
You can't. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is that Nathan?
Chris can't hear you.
Is there a video for me, Nathan?
I hear Nathan.
I hear Nathan.
Do you have a little camera on your phone? I mean,
yeah, it's on. It should be.
Okay, is there a little on your? Should be a video camera. You should be able to press on that.
There we go.
Ooh, let's see what's going to happen now. Here we go.
Now,
boom,
Chris.
Dano.
Let me clean that off.
Can you?
Let me clean that.
There he is.
There we go.
There they go.
Yes, we can
Chris still can't hear us. Chris still can't hear.
We can hear Chris.
We can hear Chris. Shake when it just says yes.
I hear Chris.
Hit the audio button down at the bottom left-hand corner.
He can't hear you.
Here, I'll text him.
Text him.
We'll get these guys on here, PDQ. Again, Oh, what? You know your name. Just send me the information. I'll get it over to Jack Tucker, and we'll get that out to you. And I hope you don't mind. If so, that it's going to South America. I'll help with the shipping and handling.
I see Nathan.
Can Nathan hear us?
Yes, I hear everybody fine.
Good. Hi, Nathan.
Thanks for joining us, Nathan.
Yeah, I can join for just a little bit here. So
Oh,
got some
as-
things planned here in a little bit. So
As long as we have you, we'll take you. You know,
Yeah.
when you gotta bail, you gotta bail. We totally understand.
So Chris still can't hear. Chris can't hear us, right? Or can he hear us? Can you hear us, Chris?
Chris,
He can't hear us.
He's got something wrong with his audio.
He might. He does on a phone. Do you have a way to choose how he hears?
he's giving me a thumbs up now.
Okay, so he can hear. Excellent, excellent.
Well,
No.
now his mic is off. Turn his mic on, Ed.
Oh, there he is.
He's not mute. He's on.
Hey, Chris.
I wasn't on mute.
No, I hear you now.
All right, we hear you. Welcome back, Chris.
Hey there, buddy. How's it going?
Good,
Hey,
good.
Chris.
How's the southeast?
Actually wasn't too bad after it rained about 12 inches last.
Yeah, we had our fair share of rain here the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, man.
Oh boy, we had a new Great Lake.
Lake Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah, we had some flooding.
Yeah.
Actually, in the flood area, and then actually a mudslide in Knoxville,
Wow.
in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's we got the same rain. I mean, you know, we were getting a lot of rain here the last couple of weeks. Not so much the last few days, but well, it just rained a little bit ago though.
I heard some birdies.
I heard birds too.
That's probably me. I'm outside.
No problem.
Kinda
Where?
up a wall.
I ain't seen Nathan Clark in person in like crap since December.
Where's Nathan from?
I don't know, to be honest with you. But right now, Kentucky.
Oh, you're right below us.
Where y'all at?
Western Ohio.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, I'm all the way up in Toledo.
Yeah,
Okay.
I said the cool part about working with Chris and Nathan is their accents. Like the Duke boys, man. It's good stuff.
We don't have an accent. You have an accent.
There
So-
you go.
You don't have
Well, I told the lady in Michigan when she said I had an accent, I said, no, you got an accent.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Some mental
It's-
All right. Yeah, I probably do have one. I don't know how it sounds to you guys. Must sound like it's Southern California or something.
Yeah, you have an accent too, but we don't know what it is. It sounds different.
It's that correct pronunciation and normal talking.
Oh, you mean? Oh, okay. Speaking English.
To speak in English.
American. So you guys, are you guys gonna be doing another show? Can you say?
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
okay.
That reminds me of something like No Tell 'em Creek, huh?
Right.
So-
Casey's
Well,
head,
let me just say we hope you do.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
Because I
definitely.
enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it because it wasn't as much drama as some of the other ones.
Oh,
you know.
definitely.
You know,
Oh, we
so
don't have drama.
right.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoyed the most about the show. You know, that and looking for the gold and actually seeing you guys find gold. But some of the other shows I don't watch anymore because too much drama. Who wants? I get enough drama in real life. But we won't go into that.
No,
So-
thank you.
Where'd Chris Taylor go?
Oh,
Oh no,
no.
I sent a message and asked him.
Oh, he disappeared, did he?
I mean, Chris is hiding somewhere.
I'm having Wi-Fi issues here and there, so my Wi-Fi might kick out again here in a minute, and I'll lose y'all again.
Yeah, I'm having a little problems myself tonight for some reason. I keep cutting in and out.
But if we did work together, I'd definitely work with Chris and Nathan and the crew again.
Yeah. Have you guys have any plans on doing anything like just yourselves getting together sometime? Just find a spot to.
Well, it's kind of hard for us all to get together because we live halfway across the country from each other.
Right.
Nathan are close because they're 400 miles from each other.
That's a day trip.
Yeah, are you about 400?
Hold on a second. I lost my Wi-Fi again.
He froze up on there.
Yeah,
He'll come back.
He's still hooked up. But yeah, that can be challenging. Even for us, and we're in, all the same state, sometimes it can be a pain trying to get together to go somewhere for a weekend,
Oh yeah.
Plus life.
Life, man.
Okay, I'm connected back again.
Life.
Kids and family, you don't get to get out much. I mean, it's like you go traveling to hang out with buddies would be nice, but there's a lot of other responsibilities we got.
Right.
But if we get mined again, it'd be good stuff. We'll see what happens. You just never know.
Well, I hope you guys get back together and do
Oh,
something.
definitely.
Looks like you were having fun. Looks like you were having fun. I know.
Oh, we had fun. Nathan almost rode a bull.
Yeah, I know you tried to say. He said no. No, he didn't even come close to almost riding a bull. Don't give me that. He said no way.
Nathan was chasing that damn thing down the road.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
No, I think Klint has been around bulls before.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nope. That thing was big too. Those are big old giant ribeyes walking along the road there, man. Them things are huge. Some of the weird part.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, you see a lot of cows, but them things were ready to go to the store or something because I was driving along the road and they were strong. They'd stand on the side of the haul road when I come down the road of the haul truck, and they'd be on these angles and they'd be planted on the side of these super steep hills. I was like, man, I never seen a cow on a hill that steep before. I was like, kind of weird. I was like, and there's a whole bunch of them standing there, super steep angle, one fall, man. That thing would be those things weigh about 1,200 pounds, come rolling down the mountain at you. I don't know. Those things were so big. They're just, yeah.
All muscle.
That's some cattle ranchers that we had the land from.
Right. So that was kind of an interesting situation with you guys going in there in the beginning.
Well, that's done. I mean, you got to go to places that are not claimable, and it was least patented land. So.
Yeah. But fortunately, it come out okay. I was really, that was really cool that it come out the way it did.
Yeah, actually, that was exactly how the story went too. There wasn't any real we went through the struggle, and Discovery just there to document what we were doing. So they weren't there to create or hype it up.
You're unmuted now, Chris. Welcome back.
My battery died. I had to get replugged in.
That happens. Gotta love technology nowadays, though. Gee.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you do.
I have a love-hate relationship with it. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with it. That's for sure.
I kind of like it whenever you're out there in the middle of nowhere where the phones don't work until you really want them to.
Right. Yeah. And I grew up, with rotary phones, so I know what it's like to be out and about without a phone. And it just it blows me away that today I can't leave the house without it. And I don't know why. I have.
And you don't dare let your kids leave the house without them.
Well, yeah, but for different reasons.
It's your new electronic leash.
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really. Tracking system.
You can track them, but that doesn't mean nothing. You think kids are, I mean, I was pretty smart, little evil genius when I was growing up. So I can't imagine kids not being any different,
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's a cool tool to have, very useful, but at the same time, man, we depend on them too much.
Well, that's true,
I mean,
Oh,
who knows Morse code, right?
I know SOS. That's
He knows how to
about
write
it.
a letter.
Oh,
I
well,
know,
check it
I
out
know,
here.
I know the generation behind us don't know how to write in cursive. So
Well, it blew my mind when I found out probably a couple of months ago that they're actually bringing cursive back to school. I'm going, what? It was gone.
yeah.
yeah,
You know, it's one of those things that disappeared without anybody knowing, or not too many people. I didn't know, anyways. So,
No.
Well,
Oh,
so
yeah.
have y'all been out prospecting lately?
a little bit.
I was just out this weekend.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we were out.
I wanted to go this weekend, but
It was hot out. It was really hot out. If you wasn't in the creek, you were sweating.
But you guys been out prospecting at all?
I wish.
We haven't been able. I haven't.
No. Well, that kind of
We've
sucks,
been.
huh?
Yeah, we've
Ain't
been
much gold
tied to
here.
the phone.
how far are you from Indiana and Ohio, Nate?
Indianapolis about 6 hours from
Uh,
me. So I'm on the west side of Kentucky.
Yeah.
okay. Oh.
I used to go to Indianapolis quite a bit.
We have some no-tell-'em creeks in that area.
But they
Really?
don't,
Or
yeah, but they
act.
don't have any gold in them.
Well, we say that about everywhere we go.
Does it have that no seeing gold?
Yeah.
Yep, on No-Tell-'em Creek, Chris. So
Yeah, Casey, Brian says you can come out and hang out with him for a week, but there's no gold in Maine.
he lies.
No, you know what? If I ever came out that far, he can take all three of us because I've seen that guy's cleanups and just doing recreational dredging out in the
Oh,
east.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, Brian's an animal behind his. Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if is he even diving or is he just
Yes.
Oh, he's full hookah'd up. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Brian's a machine.
All I know is he's showing all these nuggets he's getting out of there from the East Coast, and he's one of the rare dudes showing that much gold. So I'm like, wow, he's doing pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
we met him in Vermont last year, year before.
Yes. Last
Last
summer.
year. Last summer we met him, and the dude has his campsite is tricked out. Let me tell you.
We were watching movies on the side of his rig. Yeah.
More gold. He must have. What state is he doing all this in?
He's on
New
the East Coast.
England.
Maine.
Well,
Maine?
he does New Hampshire and others too, but
He's up in New England, travels around.
I don't know nothing about it. I've never been up there before. It's out of my realm.
it's beautiful country. It's beautiful country, Casey.
Yeah, I've seen lots of beautiful country.
This whole country is beautiful if you travel around.
That it is. Very true, Jesse.
I love this country.
Now, I'm surprised you haven't touched up on this subject. I'm going to touch on, Jesse, on reclamation.
Okay. What would you like to know? How we reclamate? We just backdrag. We set plants and look best we can, and then have Mother Nature take the rest.
Right. Just Jesse kind of, I agree with him that a lot of these shows don't stress enough on the reclamation, and I've heard a lot of people trying to talk about, oh, you're stripping and raping the land and leaving it like that, and I'm like, you don't understand it. They have multi-million-dollar reclamation bonds and
right. So what happens is we go in there and start extracting the mineral, but immediately once we're done with that area, we start repairing it, and then Mother Nature takes rest. Fortunately for us, we've been working in tributaries, so those are already flat flood zones.
Right.
Within one season, if anything we've missed, which we don't, it's all back to Mother Nature at that point. It's all regrowing. The only thing we do is extract the mineral out, and we're gone. And we reclimate the land.
I think the biggest problem is people still have this notion that when we go out there, we go out there with these big hoses and tear mountains down, you know. And there's still people that believe that that's how they still do it. You know, that they you know, wash down the side of a mountain to get all the gold out of it. Yeah, they used to do it.
I've been in coal mining for about 15 years, and I worked in Wyoming for about 5 years up there in big coal, and then out here in Kentucky in the western and eastern side. And there's a lot that goes into reclamation, and people just don't understand it, you know. But when it gets done correctly. Like I said, there's millions of dollars in bonds, and no one's going to jip out of that because it's a lot of money to lose.
Right.
So it's silly how people think about it, but man, it's done correctly no matter who does it. As long as you're legally a mine, you have to have those bonds in place. So
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. People see these shows. Well, and there's a subject that they have. I've not seen anything about. That's coal mining itself, videos and stuff like that. You know, but the shows, they don't show that part. They don't even talk about it. They don't even mention it. That's the part that upsets me because it's not.
It upsets the real miners, but the viewers that don't know anything about mining don't care to see that. They want to see the flashy. They want to see the gold. They want to see the drama. They want to see all the other crap.
Right.
They don't want to see a bunch of guys throwing dirt back in a hole.
Right.
I mean, that's the object is digging it up. You know, nobody wants to see that part. So they just don't do nothing about it. I mean, people have asked about doing it, but it's just something that doesn't sell on TV. Without selling on TV, it won't go on there.
True, very true.
I know in Nevada we had to get the ratio of what was growing on the grounds there. You know, sagebrush and the other grass, and there's like 4 different types of grass in the middle of a desert, which you'd never think that anybody would know about. But you get a guy come out there from the state, and he gives you a ratio, and you go buy seed, and you go out there and plant it right after you fill those holes back in. So you really make it better than what it was before we left. I mean, before we were there.
It wasn't. Didn't Dave do a reclamation video?
Yes, he
Yes,
did.
he sure did.
Yes, he did. I thought it was. Yeah, Paul. It was Dave that did it. Dave.
It was.
But he's the only one that's ever done anything. He
tried to push that on the show, but they like Nathan said, they don't have any interest in it whatsoever.
It don't sell.
Right.
It doesn't, and it's sad because then we have critics out there, you know, not knowing what we're doing and get to talk outside their mouth, you know,
right.
So we're just ripping it apart.
Yeah, they also showed.
So I guess I should go back and I should go back and share that video again.
Yeah,
well, they have. If you watch Gold, I think it's Gold Rush 3rd season, 4th season. Dave is actually reclamating with Todd Hoffman when they were doing, I think, Indian River. No, I can't remember.
Really?
He was reclamating something.
Oh, I'll have to check that.
one
But I know Dave did a video.
What's that?
Because they wasn't finding no gold.
That's why they showed that. No gold here.
Yeah,
Better show some reclamation. Fill up some film time.
What did they get their first season? I don't even remember.
5 ounces, 20 ounces, 30 ounces, something.
Yeah, it wasn't nowhere near what they were getting towards the end.
Yeah, our first season we did pretty good.
Yeah, I thought you guys did great. You bet your goal.
For 5 weeks.
Plus.
Yeah, no time to do it in.
Right.
And, you know, they don't really show, you know, the timeline exactly on some of the things. I mean, because we had basically 5 weeks, but in those 5 weeks we had to move equipment from Reno all the way to Arizona, and then had to set up a new mine site. Get all the safety stuff put inside, get the MSHA stuff set up, file the MSHA report. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that is boring. I mean, we had to build the gold room, had to pour concrete, we had to get that all leveled out. Campsite set up,
replace eight bearings, 16 bearings.
Yeah, and 16 bearings went on that trommel, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, every day it broke down, and you know, they want to show the same thing over and over in Gold Rush. You know, break down. you know, and it gets boring. People don't want to see that all the time. They want to see things run and things go and people, you know, succeed, not breaking down every day. But we broke down every day, every day.
That's true. I would rather watch you guys operating and running material and showing gold at the end of the day.
Yeah,
As opposed
definitely.
to I know that your show.
I tell you what the show has done.
Go ahead.
I think more than any other show is it shows the camaraderie between us on the show.
It did do
That
that.
it does.
You know, Nathan and I talking, having fun. Casey doing the same thing with us, and you know, we're joking around, having a good time. And you know, meanwhile, you know, we got to keep our minds, you know, sane. I mean, we replaced 16 bearings within 5 weeks.
Wow.
And that's without those bearings, we don't run.
Right.
You think about the number, though, we really only had about 2.5 weeks of actual running.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if that, because we were running more than 8 hours a day, 9 hours, and then we had to clean up. So it wasn't a 24-hour a day plant. So that much gold really in 2 weeks.
I mean, wasn't running 350 yards an hour either.
Yeah.
No.
Show me another Gold Rush show, or show me another show where they produce that kind of gold with a ragtag crew in the first few weeks. It don't happen.
No,
they need the whole season, and they only find 20 ounces started.
And, you know, me and Chris, you know, we talked about doing the sluice box and everything, slowing it down and, you know, doing cleanups during midday. And that did help out quite a bit on the gold recovery, because that sluice box was, you know, pretty damn small.
Not
running
not enough surface area.
Yeah. No, not at all.
And we might have not ran as many yards across that as we would ask, but you know, nobody knows about that.
Don't tell Dave.
But, hey, Nathan.
Go.
Hey, where'd you go?
Go. You know, and that's, you know, I come from the rock and coal mine, so I'm used to the production side of him. You know, go.
Right.
But sometimes when we're getting that fine gold and stuff like that, you can't push too much down that thing. You know?
Hey, Nathan.
Yeah.
Why do we only get so many yards across that table? That dirt weighs a little more.
I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. On the sky, I think.
But we got more gold that day.
Yeah, we did. She was loaded up. She looked pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, even the most experienced guys out there always got to continuously tweak their equipment.
Yes.
You know, it's a never-ending battle. You know, even us guys with a small scale mining like we do, I mean, everywhere we go, we can't run exactly the way we did last time. You gotta
and every ore body's different.
Right.
You
right.
know,
So you got that.
The makeup and unfortunately our punch plate was it Nathan, is a 3/4 inch?
Our punch plate? No, half.
It was half, and we wanted it down to a quarter. Right.
No, it was 3/4. It was 3/4. It went down to a half.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because we were getting you know, too much garbage down our sluice boxes, and it was just filling up. And Dave wasn't around to see whenever we broke down what I was seeing after two hours of run time. You know, I'd look down in that box, and it'd be just as much gold in it right then and there as it would be at the end of the day. And so we made the call that, you know, to
clean it out. Yeah.
Different cleanups.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And that really made a difference.
Yeah,
we didn't have a big enough box.
You got to run it the way the material wants you to.
Yeah.
You know. If material's telling you, hey, look, I'm loading up within a couple hours. You got to change something or clean me out more often, something.
It was like concrete.
And you know, in the first 3 days, you know, 3 or 4 days we ran, we didn't have the gold remote because Clark screwed us over on going up there and getting the gold equipment to us. So we're gold mining blind there for a little.
Yeah.
It looked good on top of the sluice. I mean, it looked badass. But man, it got down to it, man. It was crap. And it was man, what the hell?
There wasn't one piece of gold in the mats. Not one piece of gold in the mats.
Not good.
Nothing got down deep, you know, so it really screwed us there, not knowing.
Yeah, we believe. Yeah, it was a little bit, you know, but you got to imagine that short amount of time, we still did very well.
Yeah.
I've just
Casey,
never
how is Clark doing, Casey? I mean, you talk to him about every day, don't you?
I don't do but Chris does. I don't know the dude's phone number. That dude, he got off.
Oh, don't you lie to me. I know you call and talk to him about his feelings and everything.
Touchy-feely stuff like Dave was talking
Yeah,
about?
touchy-feely things. Yep, those
Hey,
touchy-feely.
Touchy-feely, wasn't it?
Hey, Casey,
Yeah.
was you his big teddy bear?
Oh.
That was Nathan.
Oh, everybody's taking notes, right?
Ned's big old teddy bear giving Clark big hugs.
Yeah, big sweetheart.
He called me a sweetheart. He called a sweetheart. He adored Chris. Called me a sweetheart, and you a big teddy bear or something. And I forgot what he said. He didn't say anything about Jason, I don't think. And but yeah, he was an interesting character.
Oh, he was. He sure didn't want me touching none of them bushes when I was using the excavator. He
Touching what?
He didn't want me hurting the plants. He didn't want me touching none of the bushes or hurting the plants in the dirt.
Oh yeah.
I was running the excavator and he was like, no. I'm like, all right, well, we'll do however you want.
It might take a while.
I'm gonna have to kind of pick the excavator, put it on comb mode.
Yeah.
No, it's all good fun. Whatever. I don't know. I wasn't actually there when he left.
No, you weren't.
I was in Seattle doing something else.
You didn't miss nothing besides we got Jesse, and that's probably the best thing that ever happened to us. Is having Jesse with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of I came back and I heard some weird stuff, and all of a sudden there was Jesse. And that's been the crew ever since. So I think that's been a good thing for this whole group.
For sure.
Now we're going to see what's going to happen in the future. We'll see.
Hey, with a name like Jesse, I mean, he's got to be good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my son's name too. So
he's a really nice man. He's like he's just lovable and he don't have
He
a
don't
mean bone
complain.
in his body.
Works hard and keeps a smile and a whistle the whole time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, but we'll see what all happens. I mean, getting pretty late in the season. I hope something happens.
Never know. Never know.
Santa Claus might come late this year, boys.
Yeah, as long as he shows up, right?
You know, we didn't start last year till November. So I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we're not going to be in there. Oh.
Blip, blip, blip.
Spoiler
Over
alert.
there in Florida doing something. No, I'm we got this new thing called gator mining. We're doing Yeah, right. There we
So
yeah, but you got to tie chicken to your feet to go down.
That's right. But
Make it a little interesting.
That's right. Selling boots and stuff on the sides of gator skin, making money. Gator.
So
mining.
let's talk about Dave a little bit.
All right.
Dave, from what you see on TV, seems like a really cool dude. I mean, I don't know. I know Chris.
Well, down to business, but
Down
cool.
to business, honest, trustworthy guy. Is he fun to be around too? I mean, is he?
Yeah.
Is he a jokester? Is he real serious all the time?
No, he's a comedian. He's like funny at times. I mean, when you work, but
Right.
I mean, when it's time to be pissed off, it's time to be pissed off. I mean, it ain't run around there just joking all day.
Yeah,
Well,
but
no, I
he's no
understand that,
type
but-
of tyrant and like.
No, he's not. He's not a tyrant.
No, it didn't
tell you
seem like
what,
he was a tyrant. You know, I couldn't really tell how serious he was all the time. It just seems like, I know he had a lot on his mind with the things not working out exactly the way that, they were initially set up, but, it was always serious.
well,
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And TV has a lot to do with a lot of.
Right.
Yeah, they have no idea what they edit back home in the UK or wherever they do their editing.
right.
Yeah,
he's a hard worker, and he wants people like him on his team, and that's why he's kept the team that he's got. I mean, he wouldn't ask anybody to do anything that he wouldn't do above and beyond.
Right.
It's like I said one time, I mean, him and Nathan stayed out there till 11:30, 12 o'clock while we were up there eating his favorite meal that his wife made for us. I mean, they were fixing the trommel, and it was probably 22 degrees out there, and he didn't come in until 12:30 at night. And then we were
And
back
I like to eat.
We saved the food.
You know, so I was
knew
very
that-
upset.
Yeah, we knew not to eat it all, that's for sure, but we definitely got it warm, and they had to reheat it.
You know,
I
no,
don't know.
in my point of view with Dave, I mean, Dave's a very good worker, and that's what I like about him. You know, he'll stay there beside you and work with you. So far, he's treated me with the utmost respect, and I treat him with the utmost respect. He's my boss. I say yes, sir, no, sir. That's how I was raised.
Right.
No, you just do the job. If it fails, it's on his, not on me. You know, if he says, "Hey, go over there and do that," I go over there and do that. If it was wrong, it's on him, not on me.
Right.
You know, it's kind of a no questions thing. That's just how I've always been and how I've always worked, and you know, that's the best way to be.
And that's probably what he liked.
Yeah.
Right.
If
Yes,
I
no,
tell you to do something and you go do it and you no problem, no whining and complaining about it, then we can work. You know.
Yeah, and you know, we did that, and we did that, and then we, you know, went to him off camera and went to him on camera about, you know, the sluice boxes, and he listened. You know, he didn't think it was going to work, but it did, and but he was fair enough to give us a shot at it
Right.
instead of just being a tyrant and not listening to us. You know, and that shows, you know, good leadership as well.
Correct.
You know, by somebody allowing his team to take some leadership to try to move the team forward, even if it was going to fail or not. And he took that step of faith in us, and it, you know, ended up working out for him.
That's yeah. I mean, I think it was one of the better shows out there myself.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Good, thank you.
But
thank
you know,
So we hope to keep doing it.
yeah. We hope you do.
I agree. Yes, definitely.
Well,
This is a little bit different of a group. We're very I don't know about other teams, but I know that we all talk usually every week, guaranteed once a week, and then sometimes between us all the time.
Casey, you call me 3 or 4 times a day. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Chris, that's
He's
not true.
lonely.
I call you 9 times a day, but now it's going to be 10 for your little attitude.
When Casey
We'll start
calls,
it
you
tomorrow.
better have an hour ahead to go and talk to him. You gotta have time to talk to Casey. Casey calls, you might as well set everything to the side, kick back, grab you a beer, pop the top.
Oh, he's one of those, huh? He's one of
Oh
those.
man.
He'll say, I gotta go, and then an hour later he says, well, I think I better go.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, no.
I can't wait to go to vacation sometimes.
I tell you, these 3 guys, the 3 that you have on your show right now, literally, we talk once a day, and here lately, you know, we've had a lot to talk about. So we're really on the phone and trusting each other, and venting with each other, and, you know, praising each other, and just keeping us together. And that's what makes it look, you know, it's not the TV that's bringing me back. I can tell you that right now. But it's the camaraderie between these guys right here on the phone.
Well, you know,
Are you coming back, Chris?
Hey,
I'll be dang. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
that's not what you heard, right?
I heard he's coming back.
We try to keep it under the table.
He's got inside information.
But we'll keep that one under the table.
Yeah. Well, I know what you mean, because Dano and Ed and myself, I think we feel the same way. I mean, if we're going to go out, we'd rather go out with these guys.
Right.
You know, I mean, not that I don't mind going out with other people, but, you know, we have a camaraderie here between the 3 of us that we can do stuff like this,
Right.
you know.
And have a good time doing it.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Well, life's too short to be doing something that you don't have a good time doing. That's for sure.
Right.
Especially
Well, you know, and my thing is, if you have to do something, you're not enjoying it, enjoy it anyways.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
if you have to do it, if you got no choice, then at least enjoy it. What the heck?
You doing, Casey?
Well, guys, I got to sign off here, guys. It's 9:00.
Hey,
So I'm out of here, guys. Just like, bye.
All right.
All right,
Thank you,
man.
Nice
Nathan.
meeting you. Hope we get to see you again sometime soon.
Yeah, bye,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll do this again sometime. Casey or Chris or Jesse get on, holler at me. I'd be more than happy to come on.
Excellent.
Even
Thanks,
you by
Nathan.
yourself, so we can hear some really juicy stuff.
About them, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I could send you pictures, videos, all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
there you go.
Nathan, thanks again
See you
very
guys.
much.
Thanks, Nathan. Nice meeting you.
All right.
All
And
right.
I'm going to bolt. We're getting down here to crunch time, and I'm going to spend some time with the family.
Hey, family
Chris,
first, brother.
All right.
Thanks for jumping in again,
Whenever we
Chris.
leave, we're gone until November. So I'm gonna hunker in.
I hear
Yeah,
you.
I appreciate you guys.
Hey,
Appreciate you, Casey. Love you.
let us know just beforehand. Maybe we'll get you back on real quick.
You got it.
All
All
right.
right.
Excellent.
Hey,
Bye.
Tris.
I'll see you soon.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, it's getting about that time, Ed.
Yeah.
I think we should probably.
Ed, you guys got any other questions you want to know about?
Oh,
I can't get off here.
You can't get off
You're
here. I don't know how to
trapped.
do it.
Want me to boot you off, Nathan? Or did he
There you
leave?
go.
Phone left the meeting. It says I got Nathan Clark.
Chris,
Nathan's still in.
Yeah.
Chris is gone. Boot him out. He's stuck.
Thanks, Chris. And we'll see you around, buddy.
Let me see if I see any questions from the chat room. I don't really see anything.
Yeah, it's probably getting pretty late on the East Coast. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's
10 o'clock
10
here.
o'clock. We appreciate you very much joining us. Let me get my camera up.
Ooh, thank you, Bob.
I
Just got
don't.
a super chat.
Oh, wow. Thank you again very much, Bob. I see this
Oh,
one,
Bob.
buddy.
Yeah, he does it often. He's
Yeah,
like
Bob's
a
a
regular.
great supporter of the channel, and
Yes, he
we
is.
appreciate it very much.
Hey, thanks for your service there too, Jess.
Oh, you're welcome.
What were you? What battalion were you? What part of
Where was I?
what part of your? Where were you around? Well, I don't even want to go into it. I just figured you. I'm gonna guess you were Army, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was Army. I was Cobra Crew Chief. Stationed in Da Nang. Cobra Crew Chief.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, helicopter mechanic.
I was gonna be that was my first job. Was gonna be a crew chief on a Black Hawk, and then I went into petroleum and did that for a while, and then I was doing analytical, and then I wound up doing some other missions, and then it just none of your MOS really happened. You just kind of did other things.
I actually became a helicopter mechanic. At age 19, in charge of a multi-million-dollar helicopter in a foreign country with people trying to kill me. Not really. I mean, yeah, they were trying, but I came back and got my airframe license, and then did that for a little bit, and then got out of it and haven't done it since.
Yeah. I liked it. I worked with the Apaches, and then with the Blackhawks, the two different. I was in two different battalions, and then did some stuff for them, and it was just is what it is. And there you go.
Here I'll tell you a little something about my helicopter. My helicopter number was 714. It was actually, I don't know if you know Vietnam history, but it was actually one of the helicopters, and this is not a good thing. This was one of the helicopters used to strafe the bodies in the Chu Lai incident with Colonel Calley.
I don't know about that.
Look up history and you'll. But one of my helicopter was one of those gunships. If you read about it, you'll. Not a good time. It wasn't a good thing, but it's something that happened.
War usually isn't it?
No, right. No, war's not a good thing. But it was really a pleasure having you here tonight, and hopefully you can check out the show. Thank you for yours too.
And whoever else out there in your group there has served, thank you for theirs.
We
But
have quite a few vets in our
Right.
Yeah.
ranks
That's
here.
also, it's also one of the projects that we have. We try to take out veterans, disabled veterans, or veterans in general. Take them out, teach them how to prospect, pay them for gold, and get them out of the house.
Sure.
Especially people with PTSD and
Oh yeah.
and any injuries, traumatic brain injuries. So
We got-
those people, we try to get them out there, get them out of the house.
Oh yeah, I've brought down quite a few veterans down to that mine I had long before I met Dave.
Uh-huh.
I'd have them come down there, and I'd load up their truck with dirt, and they'd haul it to their house and play with it for weeks.
Oh, hell yes. I'll be right over.
I said, whatever you find in there is yours. And they're like, I think they were like worried they found something big. They'd have to tell me. I'm like, you don't got to. I don't want to know because you probably wouldn't tell me anyways, but whatever.
Right.
50-pound nugget. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
No, I never found that.
Strange how it came up for auction and your name was on it. No, it's all good. That's we have a nonprofit that has a lot of homeless veterans, homeless people addicted to drugs and alcohol, whatever.
Right.
And I've actually met a few drill sergeants that had problems in their lives and they were going through the recovery, and it affects everybody in one way or another. So I get to do a pretty good deed by
even affects those people that don't realize they've been affected.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
It took a long time for me to realize that I did have a problem.
Oh yeah.
It was many, many, many years.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was doing fine.
A lot of vets won't even ask for help. A lot of them just don't.
Right. I'm one of those. People tell me, why don't you go to the VA and get some disability? You were over at Nam. In fact, you were in a perfect area for getting disability for Agent Orange.
Right.
I've even gotten hepatitis C because of that.
Right.
You should go get on disability.
A lot of vets won't do it.
I worked all my life. I'm retired with a decent pension. I did my service. Why would I take away money from someone that really truly needs it? I don't feel I really truly need it. I may deserve it. I've been told that I deserve it, but
Sure.
that to me isn't the point. I don't want to take away from someone who needs it more than me. So,
and there's a lot of them. There are a lot of them that really need it, and even those guys don't think they need it, and they want to keep passing along the buck to the other guys. And it's just kind of, I know what you're saying. I hear that all the time.
because you look at me and you go, well, there's physically nothing wrong with you, and there isn't, other than I'm, going to be 69 years old.
Right.
Other than that, so my wounds aren't physical. So to me, those aren't, and to other people too, they don't see it. Right.
Yeah.
So, I can't, it's hard for me to take away from someone who you can see their injuries.
Oh,
you
sure.
can see that they don't have arms and legs, or they're just, really bad off, even mentally, so I don't want to take away from them. I'm fine.
Well, that's commendable. That's admirable. I mean, of course, you always have the right to go use it if you need it.
I used my education, so
there you go.
you
I've not used mine or anything, so I'm just kind of I've just kind of always done my own thing. I went and served to be a patriot. I didn't have an interest in trying to make a career out of the military. I just wanted to wear the uniform before I got too old to do it. Joined around 35 years old. Went to basic with a bunch of kids. They called me grandpa. So
I can imagine, because most of them were my age. And you got to remember, I went in 1970. I went in the last year. I realized that. I went in the last year of the draft. I was one of the last draftees, So it's not that I wanted to wear the uniform. Trust me.
You didn't want to, or you did?
No, I wasn't about being in war, and I wasn't really about being in the service at that age back then. I was just.
But when it's draft, jail, or Canada, huh?
But I didn't want to go to Canada. No, I wasn't going to Canada. Why would I want to do that? You know.
Went the other direction. I when I left the house, I went a couple of years of college, dropped out of college, and I said I'm gonna go start my own company back in California. And I started surfing every day and started a little company that did pretty well. And then one thing led to another. Bought another little company, and I mean, all started from the ground up. I didn't have any financial support, and then after that, around 2001, after the 9/11 thing, business crashed and a bunch of things happened. I went, oh crap, so I had to start over, and then I went back into. I've been running heavy equipment out in California for a while, and then started becoming a superintendent out in Arizona doing it. And then about 2005 or 6, someone said, "Hey, gold's going up to $1,100 an ounce." And I said, "So how do you get it?" You know?
It's always the first question.
I didn't know how you load mine or you went after plastic. I started doing the homework and reading into it, and I went, okay, this is a lot more complicated than I thought. Because I went home and broke rocks open on my driveway with a sledgehammer. They said there was gold in the rocks. This geologist guy came onto a job site. I was running a dozer that day, and they were like, "Hey, this guy out here, and he's a geologist." And so I stopped, and then he already left. And the guy told me, he's like, "Yeah," he said, "that whole swale there is full of the riprap is all full of gold or something." So I went home and sledgehammered it on my driveway in the HOA neighborhood, right? and then I went and got my igloo cooler, and I went and bought a gold pan, and I'm out there with this gold pan in the cooler, and I'm like, I went down to some creek. I didn't know you had to go to bedrock. I didn't know you had to do all that crap. I'm gonna put sand in here, and their gold better be in there.
Yeah, there's gold in there. If I put it in there, it's in there.
Yeah, well, guess what? There was no gold in that sand. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't even know how to pan. And that's when I started really getting involved. And then by about 2008 or 9, I think Gold Rush came out in 2010. I was like, all right. I was like, this is awesome. I was still mining by then. And then I went and obtained the land and then just started mining that land. And I proved that there was in 30 yards, almost 3 ounces of gold. And then I started mining it. And then a couple of years later, I became friends with a lot of the Bering Sea gold guys, and I knew Fred for quite a few years, and that just kind of how it evolved. And then I was so into mining, I was selling mining equipment for a living for a while.
Yeah.
So it's always been around me. I always was a dirt mover and heavy equipment guy, but the gold thing really grabbed hold of me right around 2006, 2007. Met my wife, and hell, she got so into it. She ran down. Remember the first dredge we got? She run down to the gold store and bought it before I got there. We didn't have a lot of money at the time. She's down there buying this $3,000-$4,000 dredge. I'm like, so she's all, bring the truck. I bought this King dredge, and so that was where we started with that. And then, God,
nice.
Nothing like jumping in with both feet, huh?
We literally did, and then we were up in the mountains every weekend. We were trying to avoid. A lot of our friends just go out on the weekends and people get partying, and that's all they do at the local bars. And we're like, let's go out and let's go do something else.
Right.
So we started mining, but we always doing it before her. But it got a lot more serious as the years went on. I mean, this is years and years ago, but it all kind of just feeded together. And then I thought I was completely done mining. And for about 2 years, I didn't even think about it. And then all of a sudden, I got a phone call from Fred Hurt. He said, "Hey, I want to talk to you. Can you come up here and dredge with me?" And so that's when I did that. And I asked them the question, I'm all, who did the testing here? And I never could get a straight answer on McKinley Creek. So, I mean, McKinley was, I saw one. I don't remember seeing much gold. And then when I returned back to Arizona and had surgery, I didn't know what their amounts were at that point, because they were only there for like another 3 weeks after I left. 4 weeks.
Yeah, they're working for this coming season.
Well, I hope it all works out for them. I mean, everyone saw what Dustin going crazy on me, and they had to wind up apologizing.
Right.
Obviously, they had some stress issues there, and I just don't get involved in all that because that's not how I mine gold. I don't work that way.
Yeah, I hear you.
But my other side of me, when he was yelling like that, was saying jump out of the water and do something I'm going to probably regret, but I didn't. I'm sure a lot of America felt that way too, but that didn't have to happen. But
Yeah, that kind of sucks because they don't really, again, they don't tell the whole story,
no, they sure. Well, they actually, you'd be surprised how close they are. I mean, they are there
Yeah.
to document what we're doing. Discovery's always been. I've never had a problem with them. They're always been pretty good about what happened. It's pretty accurate.
Well, they must have learned from the other shows because talking to some of those guys in the past, they were none too happy. I know Fred wasn't none too happy with them because of all the crap that he had to deal with.
Oh, and they thought oh yeah, way back when, I remember that.
Yeah, right back in the beginning when they started doing these, it was just and it literally turned off a lot of people in the community, anyways.
Yeah,
I know people that don't know about it. They probably go, "Oh, this is cool, this is cool." But I mean, I probably haven't watched Gold Rush in the last 3 seasons.
There's a lot of people who haven't watched Gold Rush in the last 3 seasons.
No, me personally.
Oh, you haven't watched it?
No,
No.
I haven't watched it probably the last.
I watched your stuff.
Colorado.
I wish they'd put Devil's Canyon back on.
Oh yeah, that was good. I like Devil's Canyon.
I haven't know Devil's Canyon is. What channel is that on?
I believe it was Discovery.
Was it? I think it might have been the Learning or the Travel Channel.
Well, if it's travel, they own travel, so they will. Here's how that works. I've seen them have a show that's on Travel Channel, like those. Who are those guys from Ice Cold Gold? Those guys.
Right. Right.
They live here in Arizona. The Feldman brothers.
Right.
And they now have a show that's on the Travel Channel about mining gold or something. But
Lost Treasures or something with the Feldmans.
All of a sudden, one day I was like watching the Gold Rush show, and then the next morning, Saturday, I woke up and on TV was on, and then their show was on Discovery, and I'm like, wait a minute, and I looked it up. It's the same network. They just they can run any material they want from any of the other, like if they had a food travel thing or whatever, Food Network, they can just run that on Discovery if they want. On the whole bit and caboodle, I guess.
Well, yeah, Discovery Channel owns quite a bit of different channels. I think there's Science Channel also, and some other cable channels.
Yeah. So I mean, what's good is all of this whole gold thing from the time Todd Hoffman started it has really just boosted the whole gold small scale business. I mean, that's where the cult following is, the core audience. I mean, it's like,
very true.
And that thing probably wouldn't be as big today if it hadn't been for what Todd did. I mean, a lot of people don't know that. I mean, that was a cool idea to come out with. I mean, I've heard some different variations how they got it started, but whatever it did, it was great for the gold mining community.
Well, I think he got lucky in his timing.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because his mining sucked.
Well, he had to sell himself,
Right.
He had to go there with something.
His timing on when he started doing this, I mean, I think it probably helped a lot.
Well, we were in a severe recession when that hit, and it
was
like kind of gave everybody hope. It was like, wait a minute, go do this and make a living,
right?
Because the idea of making that kind of money seemed really far from happening anymore. So it was a good thing he did what he did, and I don't know if he'll ever come back to that. I don't know if he's doing Greenhorn Gold like he had advertised. I never met the dude. There's a couple guys I haven't met. One of the guys I should have met was Parker last summer in Haines, but I didn't. He was at the fair, but I was there and I didn't see him or whatever. That would have been kind of cool to meet him. And then I haven't met Rick Ness, and I met Freddie Dodge though. There, it was pretty cool. And then Freddie Dodge helped us set up our got us some cleanup equipment.
Right.
That was pretty cool. I mean, he's a really nice guy. I met him. But I know Fred and Dustin and the whole group there. And Dave was, I don't know any of Todd's crew. Well, Chris Dumit was cool. He called into, that was the Bobby Freedom. I think it was. It did Bobby Freedom show. Like back in March, and Chris Dumit called in, or Bobby got him to call in. I talked to Chris Dumit. I never met him in person.
Brian Wilder says, "How about Tony Beats?"
I met Tony, met him, and I was selling like mining equipment like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. And Tony was it was middle of winter and was at the gold show in Mesa, Arizona. It was before they moved to the fairgrounds in Phoenix, about 40 minutes away, but that's where they used to have it. A really cool show. And we had all kinds of stuff, and I walked in there, and here's Mini Beats and Tony Beats, and he's wearing his nice duded up outfit, and him, and then I saw Melody there, and Fred and Dustin were there at the same time.
Melody seemed like a cool lady.
Oh yeah, she's real nice. She like does like she's in all the chapters clubs. I think she's in Roadrunners, and I think I want to say she's in Roadrunner. The GPAA out here in Arizona, she's in. And, she lives up near Mayer. And Mayer, when I was growing up as a kid, small little town, but they had Big Bug Creek there, and that thing was full of gold.
Yeah.
She lives right by it.
We met Emily Rydell.
I've not met her.
She was a lot different than I had pictured her. She would be
Me,
too.
way different.
Really?
Yeah. I imagined her totally, probably opposite of how she was. She was actually very down to earth, very nice, polite.
Oh yeah.
My wife worked with her all day, and she signed quite a few pans for us.
Yeah. I'd like someone to say, "Hey Ed, guess what? I saw your die cut sticker on Emily Rydell's dredge."
Pretty cool, or a towel laying on the dash.
Yeah. We gave her a hand towel and a sticker, and along with a big thank you. And
Oh yeah.
she came to our gold show here in Ohio as our guest. So
Really?
yeah.
So Brian from Regular Gold Prospectors wants to know, how was Fred to work for?
How was Fred to work for? Let's put it this way. It was there's good days and bad days.
Cranky old guy, huh? Crotchety old man. Some days he was fun, some days he was a pain in the butt. I still would love to get him out of here.
Hey, there was good days and bad days.
Yeah.
I was with Dustin. I mean, most of all, him and his dad, they'd have issues together. Dude, you gotta remember, man, you're living in a camp
Right.
People are so tired of seeing each other after a while. I mean, for the most part, you keep it pretty PG and everyone's cool, but there was moments, man, where there's just, I know, if your gold count's low and you're having to keep going back down or whatever, people start.
Pressure's pressure.
Yeah. Jason Howard asked, do you still talk to Carlos?
I've not talked to Carlos since I left. Well, I heard from Carlos last time would be over a year ago, and I don't know what ever happened to him, if he's up there mining now or what he's done. I think he did move up there to Alaska.
Oh, he moved to Alaska.
I think he lives up there permanently in Haines.
Yeah.
No, I don't communicate with him. Most of the crew I don't talk to because I got too busy on Dave Kern's crew.
Right.
I talked to Rich Webster very rarely, here and there, like a long time ago, but not that much. Rich Webster and I work together mainly every single day.
So
whole thing when he, it's dangerous doing what we were doing. I mean, that day I yanked him out.
That was scary looking place.
He thought he was gonna die, and I'm pretty sure he's convinced he was going to. And I jumped. They didn't really show how that went. The line blew off in my face. The airline. There was nothing to hold, no backflow to hold the air in the tank. So it all went out at once. And he was down 15, 18 feet with no visibility in the dark. And his air shuts off. And then you just imagine the fear. And I had to yank him out of the water. He was pretty upset. And I just had to run. I got on the surface and yanked mask and took a big gulp of air, and then shut off. How that happened was pretty horrible. Happened to me twice when I was down there. I had air shut off and I had hot water shut off on me, and I didn't pay attention at first, and all of a sudden I started to freeze out. The water is 37 degrees, 38. Yeah, it's so damn cold it'll kill you within about, let's say, start hypothermia in about 7-8 minutes, 9 minutes.
Thanks. Well, Jason says that Carlos is living in Haines, he's filming, and Richard just got married.
And Brian asked, what about Richard or Rich Webster?
Richard got married?
Yeah, so
Richard's already married.
I guess Jason Howard just said Richard just got married. I don't know.
I don't know who Richard is. I know that Paul got married, and I think Paul's up there. Paul and his wife Kayla got married.
Yeah.
And that was Paul Richardson who was on our. Oh, maybe that's what he's saying is Richardson. I guess it was. Paul
It could be Paul.
Paul Richardson married Kayla. On Facebook. That's the only reason I even know.
No.
No, Paul was cool with. But those guys, they have their own thing going up there, and for it. My hat's off. They can figure out where all that gold is. I hope they do find it.
Well, supposedly the last place they went to before the end of the season was holding pretty good gold, but gonna be a lot of work to get it.
Oh yeah,
they went up. They went up
a lot of work to get it.
I mean, they gotta remove trees and
if it's easy to get to, there's not much gold there.
Mr. Smith Gold, how are you tonight?
What's that?
Oh, I was just saying hi to someone in the chat room.
Welcome, Jeff.
So they want to know that. Yeah, so that's basically my relationship with them. Is I don't really talk to most of them because I'm just too busy doing what I was doing with Dave Turin.
Right. So I got to ask you this. One of the things I noticed that you guys were using up there, or that Richard was using in his trauma, was some green mat. What do you think of that?
The green mat,
the dream mat,
the base above the blue.
Yeah, I think it was. Was it?
Dream mat.
I've never. Here's the thing: is I know I've seen guys switch out the matting that's in the gold cube trays into the dream mat. I've seen everyone playing with it. I've just kept with the matting the gold cube has. I've never used dream mat even in the standard sluice. I guess it works. I don't know. I know that the results from the way the cube always showed me was it kept all that fine gold there. Does a green mat work or dream mat work? I must. People are buying it. I just don't know what its loss rate is. I don't know. I don't know enough about dream mat to
I like it so much I have it in every tray of my gold cube. But I love Mike Pung's a great guy with a great invention, and I'm not.
Does it work?
It works. It works very well.
Now here's $1 million question. You start doing big cleanups. So I used to run an RP4 shaker table with a gold cube, and I'd be doing cleanups. And I'm not talking a little bit. I'm talking 300 to 500 to sometimes 1,000 pounds of concentrates, and I was cleaning lots of ounces of gold with just a gold cube and an RP4 shaker long before I met Dave.
Right.
Telling me that dream mat works pretty good. Like, I mean, it can hold all that, or does it just overflow?
Yep. It works very well.
No, actually, all those the biggest thing that I think that green mat has going for it is its lack of migration.
Lack of migration and ease of cleaning, and it's tends to be very forgiving.
So it's easier than the existing matting on a gold cube.
Oh, by far. That the Vortex mat's good what it has become, but its original intent's a conveyor belt.
Right.
Um,
Well, I mean, if Mike Punk says it's, I've never heard his opinion one way or another on it. You should get him on your show and ask him.
I've had Mike Pun on our first year on air. I actually, last time I saw Mike Pun, we had a booth for Flash in Your Pan and Dream Mat. I again, I respect Mike very much enough to loan him my own equipment, and I like all his products.
Sure.
But I had my gold cube with pretty much every tray filled with Dream Mat, micro on top.
Is that your slick plate you've done that way too?
I have the micro mat on my slick plate right now. And I'm running old cons. I've ran through my mini max with Miracle Mat 2 times already, and I'm pulling gold out. I had some salt and pepper in the micro, and in my first tray under my slick plate with my micro, I have a mini mat. I only found 3 like micros, almost, I could barely see it with my naked eye in my mini below my micro.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
it's really good. It's worth the honest try. And and with all due respect to Mike Pung, because I look at it, I'm not loyal to brand. I'm loyal to recovery.
Right.
So I look at it as 2 great products being married together to make a total here in some OC terms, a fellow brother of the sea surfer like you would totally understand. It makes 2 great products into one totally radical, awesome, tubular. I mean, like Boneyard's tubular, or
Right.
Boneyards are the point. You're from Balboa, you know the point and Boneyards.
Oh, yeah.
It's like makes a totally radical piece of equipment. I like Dream Mat so much. I used to be a hardcore. I'd have deep rib matting underneath or vortex mat under my miner's moss with expanded metal. That was in my dredge. I ran it for years that way. I started using Dream Mat due to my partner in crime, Toledo Jesse Mendez. Like, hey, check this out. Now, everything I run, including my banjo pan, has Dream Mat. Everything.
Wow, pretty amazing.
It's a good product, and you can't beat 100% satisfaction guaranteed.
All right. Well, that's good stuff.
David Peterson would, if you're not happy and willing, send it back. He'll give you your money back, right, Jess?
You bet.
But so, yeah, you could take it as far as you want to, but that's my honest opinion.
Well, I'm going with what I got now, but I've never tried that. But I've never had a lot of time to play with it.
Well, like Ed said, though, the nice thing about the Dream Mat is that it's very forgiving to any screw-ups that you can make. So it doesn't take a lot to set it up.
And it's super fast to clean. Super fast.
Maybe you guys go convince Mike Pung to put it on there.
No.
I want to watch. See what he says.
Well,
I don't know what
that's not going to happen. I mean, listen, first of all,
we've already had an understanding with Mike when he was on before. We don't discuss Dream Mat and we don't discuss David Peterson. And we're cool with that because I have to, they're both friends, and you know.
Oh yeah, David Peter. I remember that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, you've met David Peterson.
I think Mike may. I don't.
I,
I'm stay out of all the politics.
I hear ya.
I hear ya.
I hear ya.
Here's the thing.
Another war. There's another war with everybody on the.
Yeah. We stay out of that too.
We stay out of that too.
It's not Republican and Democrat. It's minor versus
Yeah,
minor.
right. It's kind of ridiculous.
I was
It
gonna
is.
hand down on that one.
I can't blame you one bit, brother. I can't blame
All
you.
I can say is I'm more concerned with the product and the results of the product than I am the inventor or the rivals. You know?
Yeah, man. If you can figure out something that works really well, everybody's gonna want it.
Yeah, and like I've told Dave in the past too, I said, dude, I love your product, but if something comes out better, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
So you know,
It's just the way.
yeah, right. You know, I'm gonna go for what's easiest and what does the best job for me.
That's it.
You know, if
hear
it's Dave's, then it's Dave's. If it's Mike's, it's Mike's.
Yeah.
If it's Doc's, it's Doc's.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I've used them all.
If
You know,
it's Pat Keen's.
Yeah, any of them.
I told Pat Keene he should just merge with Mike Punk, because so many people have gone out with a Keene dredge and they use a gold cube for cleanup right there on the side of the bank. And they do it that way now. I've seen so many dredgers doing that. And I'm like, man, you guys should just get together and promote together. What difference does it make? You're not really competing with each other. It's just a bounce off of each other. And maybe they will. I don't know. I mean, I've always seen Pat at the gold shows when I used to sell equipment. So who knows?
Who knows?
I just
should not get in the middle of that advertising and all that stuff. You know, I go with what's going to work for me. And I don't tell it. There's people that love Gold Hog. I used to use Gold Hog matting. You know.
Yeah, I remember that stuff. I remember that.
I have to say,
it's sad that you say you remember that stuff.
on my dredge, I use Gold Hog for my underlayment. Not that I need it.
I've got in my garage, I've got matting from 4 different crap everywhere. I've got more gold mining equipment concentrate. I've got retorts and this and that.
Oh, I believe it.
It's like Sanford and Sons over here.
Thinking about having a garage sale.
Oh, there's some gold I never ran. There's some stuff there I never touched. I'll get to that later. Yeah.
You dry wash it off?
Huh?
Use a dry wash
I don't do. Everybody here is tried so hard to get me to do it, and I've always said, nah, I'm gonna haul water up to it, because I've seen these guys doing it here in Arizona. Like if it's wintertime and it's cool, but they still go, it's still dry,
right?
You see them out here doing it. These guys are wearing like the full painter's breathers like I use when I'm doing construction.
Yeah, you don't want that valley fever.
I don't know if it's all the way up there in the mountains. Like that's usually the valley fever thing is like a spore that gets into the ground. They say from all the agricultural that went on here in the valley before it got built up. I don't know. My dog got it and died, and so I don't know how it floats around the air, what it is, but way up in the mountains, maybe it is there. I don't know, but these wear these big dust masks and they're sitting there just covered in this crap, and they sit there all day long and they come over and here's their pinch of gold. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I kind of like the water scene. I just something about having water running and the sound of it or something for me. I don't know. It's a dry wash thing. I know Pat Keene makes a huge dry washer.
Right. Hey, Jason Howard wants to know, are you still building homes for veterans?
Well, homeless veterans, addicted veterans, we do put them in houses. We don't give them a house. We just give them a place to live, and then they can turn their life around. But they live by the rules very similar when they're in the service. 3 hots and a cot kind of thing, and they just
Right.
they have to go to meetings every day and start looking for a job and start turning themselves around whatever they're going through. Some of them are addicted, some of them are just homeless and want to change, go out and get a better life for themselves. It's good stuff.
Well, it's going on 10:30.
Yeah, and I'm in the
guys
same trade you are, Casey. I'm in construction, and
I got to get up at 3:30 a.m.
yeah, I gotta wake up at
Get up
4
early here.
myself.
So damn hot.
Well, I tried to leave a half hour ago, but you weren't ready to leave.
That's right. That's all right.
No,
We're not
can't-
complaining. We're not
can't blame me.
complaining.
All
Can't
right.
blame me for all this long talk.
Talk,
we
you guys, give me a call sometime.
Yeah, that'd be
sure
great.
will. We've really appreciate you being on. I've had a blast having you on. Thank you very much, Casey.
And same with everybody in the chat room has been saying, glad you were here. Yeah, Casey rocks, doing lots for sure. And
Really?
Yeah. Dave Villa says top notch show tonight.
Jason Howard, have another beer.
Yep.
Thank you,
that's
everybody.
Cool. I didn't know they were saying all that on there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude. If you go after the show, if you go back and watch it once in post, you should be able to see the chat.
Right,
Really?
it'll show the whole chat.
Having there. You guys had a big audience tonight?
Well, I think our highest number was close to 50 at that time, running straight. Right now we have 20 awesome diehards with us.
No,
What I call all American mining right there, folks.
You bet.
Yeah, brother.
I'm all about American mining. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, we hit other subjects too. Treasure hunting in general. We try to run the whole gambit of treasure and treasure hunting.
Yeah.
Metal detecting, all that.
I would. You know what? Someday I'll have a little talk to you guys about a story called The Dutchman, and you guys we'll have a little talk someday about that.
Yeah, we love stories.
Cool.
We love stories.
That we do.
I mean, it's not my mind, but boy, I tell you what, I've seen some things, and I've been in this business, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah.
You know who Terry Carter is?
What's that?
Terry Carter.
Why does that sound familiar?
He does YouTube videos.
He's a treasure hunter, a hidden history type guy, and he's talking to miners from Arizona, Utah, hidden treasure stories and stuff. And he gets the stories before they're dead and gone. From
Arizona's got a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
We're one of the, I mean, come on, man. We had the OK Corral and Wyatt Earp, and this is pretty much the Wild West was right here.
Correct.
Colorado and Utah were a big part of that too. But here in California was pretty much everything was a shootout to the death. I mean, this is a place you wouldn't want to live in the 1880s.
Shoot, parts of Arizona, it's still pretty wild west.
You know what? You get to them small towns and better,
watch your P's and Q's, huh?
Pretty much. Arizona's still the Wild West. It really is.
Yeah, you think the hood is bad in Chicago. They go to a small town sometime and try to start some crap.
People there are a little different. They
don't put up with it.
Well, you guys have a good night.
You too, Casey. It was fun talking to you. We'll do this again.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks again.
Yep. Good night, buddy.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So that was Casey Morgan.
Yeah, Dan, show your face, dude.
No, I don't have to.
Oh, yes, you do.
Say goodbye to your pretty face.
I was trying to have a snack.
Now, everybody, I know there's only about 15 minutes left over at Video Call-In Show, but do me a favor, after we're done here, head on over there and give a late flash raid I won't be there because I gotta do what I gotta do and hit the hay. I wake up at 4. I know Dano has to wake up early. Everybody, thank you all very much for joining us. We had an awesome show tonight with the best viewing audience on YouTube. I swear to God.
Bonus formula.
What?
I was reading what Jerry just, or what
California is now homeless-fornia. Yeah, I hear you, Top Cat. Everybody, thank you all again very much. Until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan.
And you know what he's going to say next.
You betcha. I always do, right? Maybe one day, too, we'll meet you on the river. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Dano.
Good night.
Good night, Jesse.
Good night, Jesse.
Good night, Brian, Tin Cap, Todd, Bill, the world's greatest moderator. That's right. That's you, Jaron. Jason, all of you. Jeff, thank you very much.
Get out of there.
La Grande. Shoot, I had his real name right here just a second ago, but I don't know if he wants me to disclose that. But I'll get back a hold of you. Thank you all. Good night.